J'imagine Consultant is a company who do two things basically. We do consultation, so we do help artists, again, artists, producers, record companies, to guide them and to tell them what they should do to get some grants. And also, j'imagine Consultant is a service of executing the actual applications of grants and subsidized. Okay, today I'm here to talk to you about music funding, public funding mostly, because this is what I'm a maven at. I'm an expert at public funding, but even though you're not directly, if you're not an artist or a creator or a producer, even if you're someone involved in the studio or like a producer, you could be an eligible expense in the budget of someone else. The presentation was about musical funding, so how they can, as artists, as producers of their own project, how they can maneuver through, the government grants and subsidize. I was trying to give them really the basics of, how they should plan ahead and how they should think of their project as far as funding is concerned.
You can act as both, say, producer and executive producer on a project, or does it have to be two different people?
You can. No, you can play both roles, but
better if there's two people.
It depends. Obviously, the credibility of the producer, like music producer, is going to play a big role in the credibility of the grant. I think those students particularly, they're not too young, so they have projects, so it can apply to them right away. And that's the goal. I mean, if they're too not sure what they want to do, and so then it's a little bit useless because they cannot apply what I'm saying to them right away. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When you submit your project to the jury and the jury is sitting there and they're listening to your project, which is, say, songs for an album,
yeah.
What are they looking for? Do they look at the quality or the creativeness behind the music, or?
Well, it depends on the step you're at, okay. But for production, it definitely...
The pre-production.
The pre-production?
Yeah.
Well, it needs to be very inventive and creative. It does not need to be quality yet. People who start up, what they need usually is knowledge, for sure. They need to understand how it works because it can be a little complex and it can be a little confusing, and not that many information is out there. When you start, you need to learn a lot on your own. And what you need also is a network. You need to know people. You need to go to the places where it's happening. And, you cannot just stay in your room and put some clips on YouTube. I mean, yeah, sure, you can do that too. But I mean, if you do only that, I don't believe that you can build a career out of that. La cafétéria, c'est où? Par là? I'm going to participate in a panel of, we were 3 presenters today here at Musitechnique, so we're going to be answering questions, additional questions. Tu veux-tu dire au monde qu'est-ce qui se passe? Parce qu'il y en a plusieurs qui n'étaient pas là.
What do you see in your part of the industry today? What are the new things that have been coming out in the latest years that changed how we do things? And where do we can imagine ourselves in 5 years, let's say, or at least 3 years? What's the...
Moi, je pense que il y a définitivement, surtout en musique, il y a le numérique, bien sûr, qui est entré en ligne de compte. Je pense que c'est le plus grand bouleversement. Ça fait quand même plusieurs années, mais je pense que ça continue à évoluer vers là. There have been so many changes already. The only thing I wish will change, and I know that some associations are working hard on the process, is to try to get some more revenues from the web, mainly because the music industry, because of the shift to the internet, the revenues did not follow. So this is a big problem right now because the web needs content and we still produce great content, but there are no revenues coming from the web whatsoever. But there are people making a lot of money. So we need laws, we need a way. So this, I hope, will definitely change. Getting paid, that's also part of the job. I've always been driven, I've always had perseverance and hard work. I've made some mistakes too. I mean, I'm not perfect for sure, but I've always had this thing. Like I was 110 pounds heavier, like a few years ago. And just as I did start my company and as I approach any kind of project, I decided that I was going to work on that. And so I lost that weight. And also I became a freak of obstacle courses. So this is something, bizarrely, it's something that is directly for me linked to my entrepreneur skills, because the strength and the perseverance and the efforts that I put there helped me also to put even more, strength and perseverance. And I did apply the same pattern of how I did things there that I do now. Come on in! Bon, ça va bien? Oui. Oui. Je peux-tu vous offrir un verre d'eau? All right. Super. Bon, fait que... où est-ce que vous en êtes dans votre projet? Je pense que vous êtes en amont d'un prochain album.
Ouais.
Oui, super. Vous êtes rendu où dans le processus?
On est rendu à 6-7 tunes peut-être, fait que ça commence à être le temps de checker ça, là, pour les subventions et tout.
Oui. When I do meet a band and or an artist, and then if I decide that I can help them, it is because they're going to have something to offer. They're going to be organized enough. Maybe they need a little more, but they will be, focused enough. They will be proud of their material, like their music, what they have in hand. This is super important.
Moi, les subventions, on s'en va au Canadian Music Week, là, en fait, la semaine prochaine.
Ouais.
Ça fait 4 mois que ma page est ouverte sur Google, puis il faut que je fasse ma demande là, de subvention, puis je l'ai pas encore faite. Là, fait que
Pour showcase?
Ce genre-là, là, ouais.
Oh, OK.
Fait que en tout cas.
Parce que Conseil des arts du Canada, subvention de voyage aux musiciens.
Oui.
Fondation Socan, vitrine à l'étranger. Sinon, il y a aussi le calque déplacement. Mais là...
C'est vraiment un petit montant, là, c'est 750.
Ben, ça peut quand même...
Ben,
Mais parce que tout ça peut être cumulable, là.
We talked about the grants that we can apply for our fourth album. There's a lot of possibilities. There's like so much information, and they kind of give you a boost. They tell you like you gotta do it now. And
Pourquoi t'es pas venu nous voir avant?
Je pensais que c'était rétroactif, moi, on m'avait dit que oui.
Because as musicians, you just have those piles of paper that's on your desk, and they sleep there for a long time, and especially on mine. And so I come and see them, and they say, well, this one has to be done.
Avez-vous déjà votre artist rating sur Factor?
Non, c'est ça l'affaire. J'ai fait le applicants, puis là j'allais faire le artist, puis
Ouais.
là j'avais besoin de tellement de chiffres, puis je les ai ramassés un peu partout, puis quand je les ai eus, j'ai juste pas fait la demande.
T'as juste pas fait, OK.
Non.
Malheureusement, il va être un peu tard parce qu'il faut nécessairement que tu remplisses d'abord tout ce qu'il faut pour obtenir ton artist rating.
Ouais.
Tant que t'as pas ça, c'est comme si t'existais pas dans
Ouais.
leur dossier. Well, my part is really to help them mostly to get funding for their project. So hopefully, if it works, it helps them to, get to the next step. I'm not a manager anymore, so my role is not to supervise and to strategize with them for like the next 5 to 10 years. This is the job of a manager. I don't do that anymore. But for me, it's like a little more like short term, but it's always focused on one project and and one objective, and if they can get to the next level, well then at least, you know, and I do meet all sorts of artists, like from every level. Some are really beginning, but some are already established. So they don't have the same goals either.
Merci,
Ben, merci à vous autres, Colin. Fait que, tiens-moi au courant.
Ouais.
Hein? Toi aussi.
Yeah, working with Isabelle has been really good for us. I mean, we've received money that we wouldn't have received otherwise. It enabled us to make the two previous records work on them more than we would have otherwise, and I don't want to do this. Like, it's not a part of being a musician that I want to deal with, so it really helps that those guys exist and they can do it for you and just clear your head to make other stuff like music, you know.
Je pense que quand on se lance en musique, peu importe le chapeau qu'on porte, c'est quand même important de bien comprendre comment l'industrie est organisée, parce que nécessairement, on devra s'y frotter. On devra peut-être s'y collaborer avec elle, peut-être pas, mais au moins si on sait qu'elle est là, puis comment elle fonctionne, ça peut, tu sais, on peut mieux, je pense, naviguer autour. Fait que je vais vous inviter à regarder l'organigramme que je vous ai imprimé. L'organigramme, c'est vraiment quelque chose que j'ai mis dans mon livre. C'est vraiment les différents secteurs, puis c'est vraiment l'industrie de la musique. The book I wrote, which is called Quand le show devient business, for now, because it's only in French, it gives musicians and players of the music industry, especially who start, it gives them a portrait of the music industry, and it also gives them tips on how to develop their business side, because usually artists, this is what they lack. You know, they have the talent, they have the musicality, but they usually, you know, the business side is a little harder for them. So this is what I try to give them. And I also found like 25 people from the music industry, people from my network, my clients, who are like super well established, to, you know, again, to give them tips and to share their stories and how they made it in the music industry. Ça dépend de ta situation, ça dépend qu'est-ce que tu veux faire. Parce que d'aller te magasiner une maison de disques, c'est vrai que certaines maisons de disques peuvent effectivement t'amener beaucoup plus loin. Mais ça va quand même être une relation d'affaires. Puis même si tu trouves la bonne maison de disques, ben il y a quand même des choses que eux vont prendre en main, puis tu n'auras pas le contrôle sur ça. The goal to be signed with a record company for a band can still be a thing. It still can be a good thing, but it's not necessarily the only way, for sure. I mean, before, yes, but now I know many bands and artists who do it like mostly on their own. They do have to find some collaborators. I think it's still important. Some specific jobs are, you know, you should have collaborators, but I mean, yes, you can do most of the things on your own. You can sell your own things, you can promote your own things, like, you know, on the social media and stuff. But yeah, sometimes it's only, I mean, I think the intelligent thing to do is just to go get the essential collaborators that you need, but you can still do a lot on your own.
Well, the workshop for me today was amazing because I really needed some help regarding our album release. It's very soon, and I needed to know the best contacts that I have to meet right now. And we had a lot of information, really good quality. She's really well plugged, so it's a huge help for me.
Getting a grant Like, I've been trying to do that for a long time, and personally, I find it almost impossible to do it myself. And thank God I met Isabelle, and I got a grant, I even got one for a few thousands. So she's the bomb.
When the day is over and I know that I've met, with some clients and I've done workshops and I've met with students and everybody is happy and I do know that I've bring them something that they want, that they need, especially that they need, well, this for me is the reward. Of course, it's a business and I do get paid and I do charge, for my consultation and stuff, but it's also it's to help them, basically.
A bit sorrowful, a bit moody, a bit dark, very introspective. Today's R&B artist uses his music to extend a look into his soul while encouraging us to contemplate our own. He's released 3 interwoven, interconnected albums in the span of only 6 months, a trilogy reflecting his life. This is an artist that sure doesn't play by the rules, the result of which is something unique and intimate. You're watching The Vocalist Magazine presents Voice.
I do not write about things I don't know. Now, I'm not saying that people can't do that. By all means, people can do whatever they want to, but when it comes to what I want to send out as a message to the world, I want to be completely honest. So I don't want to ever talk about things that are not real to me, because then I'm being fake, and then I'm also just kind of alienating the people that follow me. Right now we're in Anger Inc., so it's a tattoo shop in Montreal, and it's kind of like my second home at this point. Tattoos in general have been a part of my life for the last 2 years. They allow me to kind of put out what I am on the inside, on the outside, kind of like music, but this time having it on my body. And the thing I love about tattoos is that they're permanent. So whatever decision you make, it's a decision that you need to be careful of. So whenever I get a tattoo, it has to symbolize something. I think the most meaningful one is actually the smallest one, and it's a tattoo here that says 27-9. I'm not getting into exactly the point of the numbers, but it represents the day my mom passed away. And it's a reminder for me of the day that I had to become, in essence, a man, because at that point, suddenly, the world that I knew before was taken away from me, and I had to make a decision. It's either I, let that pain consume me and I just fall into darkness, or I kind of take that point in my life as a trigger point where I make a decision to say I want to be all that I can be, and not just do it for myself, but also do it for her memory, for who she was. After that point, it became kind of a directive where I needed to make music to save myself. If it wasn't for music at that point, I would have honestly died. In fact, there was a point where I actually did choose that path. Music allowed me to kind of dig my way out of that darkness, because I really was lost and I needed a way to release those feelings.
Tell me about music in your childhood.
In my childhood, gosh, as a kid was Michael Jackson, just because my mom was obsessed with Michael Jackson. So, you know, I couldn't, you know, go a day without hearing Thriller or Bad or, you know, any of those songs. And, you know, Michael Jackson became key to who I wanted to be as a musician because I would watch his shows, and then you'd see people freak out. Like, he'd sing and people would faint. They have to carry people on stretchers out. Like people were freaking out and like they were emotionally consumed by what he was portraying. And I saw that, and I wanted to be able to do the same thing, to make music, but like connect with people on that level. But now at that time, you know, I was a kid, so I just wanted to do it because it was cool. You know, but getting older and seeing how music impacts me and how that message then impacts people, I want to do the same thing where I can give a message of hope and you know, believing in your dreams and seeing yourself more than you are without even meeting the person.
I know what she wants from me, and I just keep on falling for it. Maybe if I stop for a minute, then I wouldn't get caught in this web I'm in.
And you were born in Nigeria, and you moved around a lot as a kid. So how has traveling and seeing those places affected you as a person and as a musician?
I hated it because you know, you'd meet friends, and then 2 years later you're like, you know, bye. And this is pre, you know, internet really, right? So this is before you could just go log into Facebook and say like, hey man, what's going on, right? Like, this is before that. So as a kid, I actually hated moving out a lot. But as I got older, all those things I saw, they still remained with me, like the traditions, you know, like in Nigeria or in France, the way people act, those remained with me. It allowed me to kind of see the world in the way it is, which is this open, diverse, multicultural thing. So as a musician, you get to kind of draw from all of that. And I think being, you know, a kid that moved around a lot allowed me to really appreciate all that and kind of add that to my art.
And lastly, I want to talk about your name.
Okay.
Tell me how you came up with it and how it represents you as a musician.
Okay, well, it's funny because this was probably in university where I was in this group. Well, it was just a duo, actually, and it was called Jasmine's Voice. Because the girl was obsessed with Aladdin, Jasmine, and I don't know, voice just kind of just followed me around, and it's kind of become who I am. And I just feel like as time has gone on, it's made more and more sense even to me that, you know, the name I chose kind of represents how I see life. You know, I want people to be able to open their mouths and say, this is unjust, this is unfair, we deserve better. You know, like, that's what I want. So if I can be someone that can teach people to use their voice, then I might as well be named Voice.
Another year, I'm getting older. Damn, time flies. Look at all the friends that surround me now, and I'm grateful, yeah, for all of it, yeah, all of it. I swear you're the reason I'm still breathing, yeah. But I'd give it all up for a chance to hear her.
Oh, wow, look at this. That was probably me. All right, where should you set this up?
I want to talk about your albums.
Okay.
You released 3 albums in a span of what, like 6 months?
Like 6 months, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell me about this. I guess it's an anthology, you call it.
Yeah, we're just, well, on one end, absolutely insane, right? To release that many songs. It's actually, so it's 75 songs across 3 albums. So the first one's called Alone in the Crowd, Angels, Demons. Second one's called Hidden in Plain Sight, King of the Sandcastle. And the last one's called Lords of Gemini, Somewhere Between Worlds. And it's all part of this thing that we call the Voice Trilogy. And we released them in such a short amount of time because they really are one giant album that tells my life in between 2010 and the beginning of 2016. It's really who I've been, who I was, and who I am, and me reaching a point where I realized that I needed to put a finality to that so that I can move on with myself.
Tell me about how you met Suki and how he complements your music.
Apart from, a musician, I was really heavily involved in the gaming industry from a gaming media perspective. That's a different world. But that's actually how I met Jess. We used to work on a gaming show together.
Sux was our videographer, cinematographer for our Montreal Comic-Con shoots. But yeah, after a while, I invited Steve, Voice, to some of my shows because I'm a musician. I've been doing this since before I could walk or talk. And so eventually we became really good friends, and I invited him to one of my shows. He was all like, probably like, damn! And I was like, damn!
What? It was just so good. And I just knew I wanted to work with her.
And so thus we have, and now we're collaborating, which is amazing. I'm very excited. He's super talented.
And Sux is strange because I was working on a song with this person who's really heavily involved as a gaming voice actor and acting in general. So I did the song with him, and then it turned out that Sux had produced it. Sux reached out to me. He said, "You want to work on a song together?" And I just said, "Hell yeah," because what you did before was amazing.
You meet many different talented people, many different singers or people who can reach all ranges. But for myself, as a producer, I like to flood a lot of my emotions, a lot of my own problems or things into the actual beat. And whenever I'd send him these tracks, he would counter it with full of his own emotion, a lot of his own true experiences. And it was just real, honest music. It wasn't trying to be anything. It wasn't trying to be this genre or that genre. It was just real, raw music. So that's the most enjoyable type of music as a producer you'd want to be a part of.
I need some to listen to, guys.
So G minor, then the F major, and then C minor.
I stand for you.
Okay, got it.
I wanna see you go. I don't wanna see you go. Maybe I need you to.
And you say it's important for you to step away from convention. What exactly does that mean, and how do you do that?
I mean, just don't limit myself. for example, right now, there's certain genres of music that are popular and they're happening, and people will reach out to me and they'll go like, hey man, I got a hit song for us, let's do it. The second I hear the word hit song, I'm instantly turned off, because I'm like, you're thinking completely in the direction that I don't think in. I don't think in that regard. Like, I don't care if it's a hit song or not. I want to make a song that is meaningful. So I don't do songs just because it's going to be the hit of the moment. I'll do a song because it's what needs to happen from an emotional perspective, and that's it only.
So Voice, ultimately, do you like being a musician?
I love it. I think it's more than just liking it. It's who I need to be. I think without music, I'm lost. I think I still have a lot of growing up to do in the sense that I identify myself with my music. I need to learn how to identify myself outside of it as well. But I think the hardest thing in music is honestly visibility. Trying to be seen. I think we live in a world, especially with social media, where everyone is a musician.
Yeah.
Everyone can put out music. And it's hard to be seen in that sea. So I think it's something that everyone has to work on actually in today's world, where suddenly with a digitally driven market, you need to really distinguish who you are by, and I do that honestly by just being completely honest with myself and just being so transparent on, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't shy away from who I am, and I think people relate to that and they see that there's a real person behind the music.
I've been thinking about you for days. I miss your face, but I can't see it no more, except in my dreams.
And you've done a lot of collaborations, with Suki, Jess Averin. Is there someone that you haven't done a collaboration with that you would like to?
I always wanted to do a collaboration with Michael Jackson, but that's not gonna happen. But you know what, honestly, I would love to do a song with, I know it's gonna sound strange, but Eminem. Just because I feel like his music taught me how to make music where you transport yourself into your world, into the art, and you kind of give people more shows of who you are. And I would love to make a song with him because he's that kind of person as well. And it'd just be like making a song with your mentor, even though this mentor doesn't know who I am.
What are you working on right now? New projects in the works?
So there's a lot of things in the works I can't actually talk about, but the one thing I can talk about is, so me and Jess Averin are actually working on a collaborative project together. It's after we did the song on Lords of Gemini called Last Train to Nowhere. I really wanted to make more songs with her because I feel that she brought out something else in me that I didn't know was there. And her style is just, again, she's one of those really unique artists that has a unique sound and talks about unique things. And I want to kind of learn from her in essence, right? So I think putting our two worlds together really benefits the both of us. It's gonna be very, from her perspective, it'll be more acoustic. And in my perspective, it'll be more piano, but I really want to kind of just bridge those two sounds and then our voices and what we talk about together, because it just does something beautiful.
What's the biggest life lesson that you've learned that you would give to other musicians?
Biggest life lesson is be honest. Don't be something that you're not. Don't just pursue something because it's working. Just because something works for Drake doesn't mean you need to just do that. Don't copy, because when you copy, you're not pioneering. You're just imitating. And sure, imitation is the greatest flattery, but you're not doing anything for yourself. I'm not saying people like Drake are not amazing. They're really talented artists, but they're themselves. And they made it, being themselves. And, why should you go copy a formula when you can create your own?
Yeah. And now this is kind of a loaded question, but what's the next chapter or the next trilogy for Voice?
I don't even know, I think now I'm in a position where I'm more seen. And I'm starting to see where I can see where it can be difficult, where it gets hard. I actually have a hard time putting a bridge between myself and the world that surrounds me. Because there are moments where I feel so vulnerable because I'm out there, and I feel that, people can reach out to me all the time, that I need to learn how to disconnect a little bit from my own sanity. So I think that's gonna be the next chapter. We'll be talking about, now that you are in this music industry that you've wanted to be part of for so long, how do you handle that reality?
Another year, I'm getting older. Damn, time flies. Look at all the friends that surround me now, and I'm grateful for all of it. Yeah, all of it. I swear you're the reason I'm still breathing. Yeah, but I'd give it all up for a chance to hear her say, "Mama, just one more time." Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
I'm your host, Anna. The name Sule Heitner is on a lot of people's lips, as you might remember him as a quarter finalist on the show La Voix. After touring all around the globe for a number of various musicians as a guitarist, he's established himself as a solo act. And whether the song you're listening to has more of a rock, folk, funk, or country sound to it, they all have a few things in common. They radiate originality, rhythm, and Sule's soothing, seductive voice.
must have been like 5 or 6 when I said, I want to be a musician. Back then, I probably said I want to be a rock star. But yeah, it just stuck. I had other interests and other things that I considered, but music just kept coming back. There were no professional musicians in my family, but my mother was always playing piano, always singing. My dad had a record collection that was really something. Now that I'm old enough to appreciate it, I look back at some of the things he had in his collection. I can be very grateful to have that in my environment. My sisters all played piano and guitar, and that had an influence as well. So I'm the baby, I'm the youngest, so I got all the influence from everyone growing up. When you tell your parents you want to play guitar, and in your head you're imagining, you know, an axe-shaped, blood-dripping electric guitar, and they get you a nice classical nylon string and have you sitting like this, it didn't go over that well at first, but I learned to really appreciate it, and yeah, the classical training's there. The repertoire I've long forgotten, but the actual training and the technique is still there.
And what attracted you to the guitar?
It was cool.
Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? Got a mad desire.
Tribal Groove was interesting because I just decided that I was going to go headlong into music and not look back. A leap of faith kind of thing. And Tribal Groove was the vehicle with which I was going to do this with. I had written a couple songs and put them out in a little cassette. So that got the band started together so that we can play those songs. But then we started getting shows here and there out in the countryside, and it started to snowball and grow on its own. But eventually the band went, you know, in different directions. Everyone had a different vision as to what they wanted to do. And it became easier just to work as a solo artist.
Sometimes it feels like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, and carved a 6-inch valley through the middle of my soul.
Now I want to talk about the Montreal Jubilation Gospel Choir. That's something you were part of, and with the choir you got to open for Celine Dion.
Yes.
So talk to me about the choir and how that influenced you, and of course for opening for Celine Dion, because that's just so cool.
Oh, that was a pretty cool experience. Well, the choir, I kind of joined it as a sort of school, if you will. Most of the artists that I really admired and respected had gone through a gospel experience. People like Curtis Mayfield and so on, Aretha Franklin. And I figured this is a style of music that is not necessarily, as a Canadian, as accessible to me as stateside. So I figured I have this opportunity. I went and did the audition, and great experiences. I mean, I've learned so much from just those 5 years. Met great people, and the repertoire itself, just singing gospel. You know, it's transcendent, you know. Some of the gigs we did, for example, Celine Dion loved the choir, and she had us for a few occasions. We sang at her wedding, and in front of, you know, the Bell Center. Every kid says, one day I'm going to play at the Forum, but there was no Bell Center. It's amazing. You see all the reflections of, like, you know, tens of thousands of people's glasses because the lights are reflecting them. And you just see them everywhere.
Sometime in the water, sometime in the water. This song dedicated to Bad News Brand. Woo! We love you. Sundown in Griffintown, don't be found round here. This place can be so cold. Come on. Found your facing down on the cold hard ground. No one heard a sound. No one heard a sound. No one called a soul. Check it out. Whoa, boy, holler in the night. And you hit and cry. Whoa, don't go without a fight. Ooh, boy, bound to die. Took your sound underground, played your harp, made your mark in your city. Raised you, called yourself Bad News Brown down in the subway. Had you say beat the odds against the loaded day. Yeah, check it out. Whoa, boy, holler in the night. And you hit and cry. That's right. Come on. Whoa, boy, don't go without a fight. Oh, boy, you're bound to die. Look, don't know why you had to go with these sour taste. All I really know for sure is you're in a better place. Though you're gone today, some memories I can't erase. And every time your music plays, I tell myself, what a waste. That bad, he had the crowd digging. Bad news, so much heart he was about to start living. Hey, why can't we all get along and stop killing each other? If we don't learn, the record won't stop. Skip it, skip it. Come on, let's do this. Tonight, sing. Oh, holler in the night. And you hit and cry. That's right. Oh, don't go without a fight. Oh boy, you're bound to die. You made the world your stage. You were all the rage. Your star was shining bright. Such a shame to see your name. Morning papers cry the 7th homicide of the year. Yeah, true story. Whoa, boy, holler in the night. And you hit and cry. Whoa, don't go without a fight. Oh, boy, you're bound to die. Never walked through Griffin Town, flanked by death and fear, in a lane, y'all. Down here. God for Bad News Brown, no one knows how the story goes. Another would be teasing. That's right, march y'all. Listen up. Too late. Oh, boy, holler in the night. And you hit and cry. Yeah, hit and cry. Oh, boy, don't go without a fight. Oh, boy, you're bound to die.
Bad News Brown is a curious guy because he started off playing in the subways, and there's even a documentary out called Songs for a Blue Train that features him. He was playing harmonica and basically had the idea to bring the harmonica into hip hop, which a lot of people probably said not a great idea. It's not gonna, you know. And he just went headlong, did what he was gonna do anyways.
I remember giving Bad News his first show money in life.
You knew him personally?
I knew him personally, very personally. I loved Bad News Brown. And years ago, I remember going to Saint-Hyacinthe. I had this tour and I booked him on the tour. And that first show, I think, was in Saint-Hyacinthe. And I remember being in the car. And I remember the pay wasn't all that big. It's a long time ago, but I remember giving him $50. We were sharing maybe $150. And he was like, wow, BU, that's my first show money. That's the first time I'm getting paid to perform.
clouds in the spring. Now words are falling from my lips.
And one day, unfortunately, he was murdered. He's a contemporary and a colleague of mine, and we had a lot of friends in common. I don't think I could have written a song like that if he was a close friend of mine, because I think the feelings would be too raw and too hard to express. But having him be sort of like a friend of friends and someone who I knew and someone who I respected, kind of allowed me to be a little bit more like, okay, we can... Hi.
Yeah.
I'm Sule. Nice to meet you.
Sule.
Yes.
Who plays at the Bistro 5.
That's right. You got it.
How are you?
I'm very good.
What
How are you?
kind of music do you do?
All kinds of music.
What? What?
Why?
Yeah.
You know what? That's a really good question. I just love making music. It's what I do. Magdalena, you have a beautiful day. You look like you're out here in the sun having a good time.
Yeah.
Nice cars and fancy digs and deluxe condo towers. A frozen wage got me counting overtime hours. Living paycheck to paycheck can make a life taste so sour. When all I really need is you. All I really need is you.
And I find some of your songs, they definitely have a bit of a political edge to them, like Duck and Cover, Drop Your Guns. I guess that songwriting the lyrics are important to you.
Yeah, there's a message in what I'm trying to do. I think every artist, it's a part of your job. I think it's a duty to have a message that you need to get out, whatever that message is, you know? And I think the diversity of what the messages can be is important too. But that's mine. I don't usually talk about the message very much. I really want people to get from the music what I'm trying to say.
Sule is just easy to place my vocal on top of his and just ride whatever he's on to, even in terms of rhythm. Some people are really on time. Being urban, we have that laid-back approach. Sometimes the vocals might be a little early, a little late on the beat. And that's more soulful, more hip-hop, being more hip-hop soul about it. That latency, we call it. I feel the man, I feel the human being. He's a great man, and I only collaborate with people that I think are good people. Because on a stage, if you're not with good people, they're just gigging. Once you fall, nobody's picking you up. They're just laughing, and they go to the next gig. When you have good people, nobody falls. It's that chemistry, everybody's backing each other.
All I really need is you.
And I have to talk about La Voix, of course. You were a quarterfinalist on the show. What did you learn from that whole experience?
Well, unfortunately, one of the things I learned, I think I learned it a little bit before I did La Voix, but it was one of the reasons why I went and did it, is our industry has become a little bit of a popularity contest. It's too bad, because we all know people who are uber talented and really should be seen by the public, who are still in their basements, and then we know of other people who are being paid tons of attention, who are maybe very, very talented in their own right, but not as talented as the people we know in their basements. And they're like, why are they there and they're there? It's all about popularity. So the talent doesn't necessarily get you into the public eye anymore. So being in the public eye gets you in the public eye. It's kind of a snowball thing.
The angel closes her eyes.
So I figured, you know what? You can either sort of fight against this trend, or you can just, you know, suck it up and go with it. And a show like Revoix is a vehicle that allows me to do that, to get seen by millions of people. And at least then, you know, they can at least have an introduction to who I am and what I do. It was a great experience. It's a lot of fun.
I can feel it. Suddenly out, late morning train. I pull up in the pouring rain. Think that everyone could see my pain. Maybe I've put my brain in a different place, on a different plane. Let's do that. Or maybe I'm just getting tired. Tired of the lies and shame. All the lies and shame. Resentment and blame. It's manipulation. Drop your guns. Drop your guns. This war's over and no one's won. This war is over and no one's won. I hope you got your kicks. Hope you had your fun. Hope you had your kicks. Hope you had your fun. 'Cause this is over. This is over, man. This is over. This is over, man. Look. What you took from me, I never get it back, but you're the big victim here. At least that's how you act. You know the truth ain't negotiable. Yeah, you know that that's a fact. When it goes around, when it comes around, I'm just waiting on that blowback. But life goes on and on. Life goes on and on. The story just don't stop. And so much time is gone. So much time is gone. Waiting on the other shoe to drop. Lord knows I'm gonna sing my song. Gonna sing my song. You know it just can't stop. And deception's like a pretty bubble. Eventually it's gonna pop. Revealing all the lies and shame. All the lies and shame. Protecting and blame. It's manipulation game. Check it out. Drop your gun. Oh, come on. You need to drop your gun. This war is over and no one's won. This war is over and no one's won. I hope you got your kicks. Hope you had your fun. I hope you had your kicks. Hope you had your fun. 'Cause this is over. Yeah. 'Cause this is over, man. This is over. Yeah. Used to make love like 3 times a day, man. Tell me where's the love? We fight over everything, man. You seem to have forgotten it started with a flirt. Yeah, you need to drop your guns before somebody gets hurt. Even worse, don't front you know that this relationship is long gone. And bullets coming out your mouth just leave you dead wrong. Now do against your boomerang effect, so hold on. But if you don't wanna move on, then you gon' need to calm down, calm down. This damn mentality is gonna change my neurology. That's right. But if I had to go to war, at least I know just who I'm fighting for. Yeah. Drop your guns. This war is over and no one's won. This war is over and no one's won. Hope you got your kicks. Hope you had your fun. Hope you had your kicks. Hope you had your fun. 'Cause this is over. 'Cause this is over, man. This is over. This is over, man. Drop your gun. Sing along, yeah. This war is over and no one's won. See, this war is over and no one's won. Hope you got your kicks. Hope you had your fun. That's right. 'Cause this is over. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Je l'avais dans la tête, gros. C'est exactement ça que je pensais. Ouais, après, le beat, il rentre, mais... We spent too much time together, man, for too long. It's starting to be freaky.
Sule is like water. Smooth. Very on point, precise with his vocals. I'm a lot of energy on stage. I don't want to be predictable. I just vibe through the music and just bring ad-libs, rap vocals. And he comes from an urban world also, so he has good rhythms.
I love it. I mean, there's so many magical moments when you're on stage with other musicians or when you're writing and you're in the studio and even just sometimes the feedback and the effect that you have on the public and on people. It's so gratifying. I couldn't think of anything else to do, and I have thought of other things to do, and I haven't come up with one yet.
It's a nice way to do that insteed of the way the original is. Like, instead of me doing the part that you're playing, like, that's the normal guitar part. Yeah. Do it on the bass, and I'll just like...
So, Sule, you've been a musician in the industry for a long time. What are some of the challenges you've found?
It's a challenging field, period. I think some of the challenges that I've come up with is how do you, first of all, when I was very young, how do you turn your passion and the thing that you love to do, the thing that you're good at, into revenue? How do you make a living out of it? So I went into it with a lot of faith and a lot of ideals. I figured everything takes hard work, and that if you apply yourself in whatever it is, you're going to find those ways. So I think the challenge is to be able to make your passion into a living and not lose the passion. So you have to kind of walk a certain line where you can be the artist you want to be, but yet still be able to be a commodity. You know, our society, it's a capitalist one. What we do and who we are is a commodity, you know?
Still a business.
It is.
And how have you seen the industry change over the years?
Well, I think that my career has sort of happened in a very tumultuous time in the music industry. I mean, I think it's going to be changing a lot of industries, but the internet and the computer in general really changed how people make music, how people listen to music, buy music, everything. And the business model is completely turned upside down. And it's a difficult thing because if you're, I mean, there are a lot of musicians who backed the idea that music should be free. And really got behind it. But if your main product is free, how do you live? So it's a quandary, and it's something that I think that is trying to be worked out right now. And I think that the transition has been really gradual, very slow, and I don't think it's actually stopped yet. So where it's going to land is anybody's guess.
Riding down a lonely road. The summer's coming to its close.
5 years down the road, I'm hoping to have a nice collection of releases that I've done and be able to go out on tours, reach more people. Especially, I love doing the live thing. I love to actually play for people. So hopefully be able to do more of that in venues, more like festivals and concert halls. I love those kind of venues. In 10 years, probably still doing the same thing, but I'm hoping to get the songwriting for other artists a little bit more going, you know? I kind of see that as where I want to be in my future.
Based on your experiences, what's the biggest piece of advice you would have for musicians?
Remember to persevere. Just don't give up. If you really, really have to do this, if music is what you have to do, then just never, ever, ever, ever give up.
If you're
Welcome to The Vocalist Magazine Presents. I'm your host, Anna, and I'm very pleased to present today's 5-person alternative folk band whose sound is rooted in deeply expressive melodies, evoking a whirlwind of emotions. Their shows sell out all over Quebec, and their latest album, Fly, was featured as one of iTunes Canada's best albums in 2014. Here's Will, Driving West.
My parents never thought I would, be a musician, because when I was young, I was lazy. You know, I was really, really lazy. Couldn't do anything for more than an hour. But I don't know, when passion kicks in, I never thought I'm gonna make music, you know. I never thought I'm gonna be a musician. I just wanted to play those songs and have fun. And it's kind of life grabbed me and put me at my place, and I'm like, all right, okay, I'm gonna go with it. I'd always played, I started making Cat Stevens covers and stuff like that, but I never took any courses. I listened to a lot of Damien Rice and trying to emulate him, and I started finding my own voice through that.
So you started the band in 2010, right?
Yep.
But before that, you were doing something quite different.
Yeah, I was an audio designer at Ubisoft Montreal, and I had worked my way up to from tester to audio designer with that goal in my mind that once I reach audio designer, I'm gonna do this for all my life. And once I got there, there was nothing else to pursue, so I fell into depression, quit, and went to Ireland to play music in the streets, because I saw Once with Glenn Hansard, and that's when I thought, this is what I want to do with my life. I arrived there with 50 euros in my pocket. In the movie, Once on Grafton Streets, it was quite cozy, and he was playing, and but in real life, there's a ton of people there, and I wasn't the only one who saw the movie. We had a busker every 5 foot or something. So I took a bus ticket with the little money that I had left to Galway, and it was much more like a hippie vibe kind of city. So I was just when it wasn't raining, because it's raining a lot, just waiting for the rain to stop, going there and making my money. And you can make a living in Europe this way, but nobody really listens to you. I mean, they listen and for a few seconds, so you start listening to yourself. Just in the beginning, you just want to please everybody, and you're like, hey, listen to me, and you figure out, I'm gonna play for myself and just don't mind about the money, don't mind about anything. If you're out of focus, it kind of gets the focus back on yourself, on what you want to do. You have a lot of time to think. So yeah, it was quite an experience. It changed my life.
You look so bothered. Flying over me.
J'ai rencontré David en 2009 dans un groupe qui s'appelait Frankfurter Band. Il y avait aussi le drummer, Benoît. Il y avait Nicolas aussi, le guitariste. Mais c'est David qui, à un moment donné, en 2010, il a décidé de mettre quelques chansons folk sur MySpace.
I just had a few folk songs, and I thought, I can just record them and with a few friends and put it out there on the internet, and that'll be it. So when I needed a female vocal, well, I didn't need a female vocal, but I thought it'd be nice. I asked Andy, which I met in Frank Fuller Band.
Il me l'a demandé, puis on a enregistré les chansons, 2 ou 3 qu'on a mis sur MySpace. Puis finalement, ben, on avait comme plus le choix de faire un album parce que la chanson s'était répandue partout. Puis...
And I thought, well, why not add a cellist? So we asked a friend, and we opened the floodgates. I mean, I had 8 songs in like 2 months, and we're like, oh, well, let's make a CD. And we made a CD, put it out there, and the reception, I mean, it just, whoa, like, we're a band now, or are we? Because we didn't expect it.
And so when you first, sang with Andrea, did it just click and it was like magic?
Yeah, it was.
On dirait que les back vocals sont arrivés automatiquement, comme tout seul. Puis on a trouvé que nos 2 voix allaient vraiment bien ensemble. Fait que sans faire exprès, on a fait « Oh, OK, ça va bien, ça sonne bien. »
We're married now, so yeah, it worked out better on a lot of fronts.
Swallow a bowling ball.
And Will Driving West, is there a story behind the name?
Yep, it's at the end of Good Will Hunting. You know, he just jumps in his car and he drives west to see his girlfriend. He's a genius, I'm not, but I felt compelled by, like, he's just, okay, this time I'm doing it, and he just leaves his demons behind and drives west, and that's the story behind it. Yeah.
There's the one you are and the one you'd like to be. There's the one you love and the one who loves you back. They ain't ever met. There are things you don't control, things that leave a hole. sunshine. You're strong enough to smile. Do you need me? Do you need me anymore?
And your sound, I find it has kind of evolved over the albums, especially in the drums. It started off being really non-intrusive, very ambient. And Benoit was actually a bit hesitant to join the band at first, right? Why was that?
Yeah, he said it was like putting a bowl in a china shop, you know, having a drum. And because at first we were really, really soft and mellow. We're still soft and mellow, but not as much. Yeah, we just told him right from the start, just use hot rods, just figure out ways to make the drums sound not like you would hear them at first, you know, just think outside the box. And it opened up a lot of possibilities, and he just fit the drums right in, yeah.
And the first song that you did with Andrea way at the beginning, it was Thieves, right?
Yeah, it was.
And that actually, the video is beautiful, and it has 70,000 views on YouTube, which is really great. Talk about that song.
I actually wrote the riff to it in Ireland. It was 3 a.m. and in the youth hostel, which is like 3 p.m. in the youth hostel. You know, everybody's up talking, and I was talking to someone, just made those chords, and everybody stopped talking, and they looked at me and they said, "What's this song?" I said, "What was I playing?" And she said, and people said, "You should do something with that." And I go, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna do something." So when I came back, I added lyrics to it. Didn't think it would do anything, just all right. And yeah, it's our biggest hit right now. I often say that in our shows, the people in the audience, they'll feel both extremes, you know? Not extremes, and we don't play metal songs, but they'll be like, we want to move them, you know? So there's songs that are really like me on my acoustic, like almost, you know, very, very, very intimate, and the other song, boom, it explodes, and it's just, it goes there, it goes there. We have like sad songs, of course, but we have like hopeful songs. We have a song called Mrs. Sunshine, and we don't have a label. I mean, we don't have anyone to tell us, you're gonna do that, so might as well, you know, take advantage of it and just make what we want to do.
And did you take your time with these ones, with the latest album?
Oh yeah, we did. Like, I think I wrote 2 songs in the time that maybe I wrote the first 2 records, you know? I'm paying a lot more attention to them. If you want to make a living of it, if you want to become a big band, you got to compare to the best in the world, you know? Sometimes I was lazy and I was like, this is a good enough song, and I don't want to make good enough songs. Still, I want to make like the best song that I can make, but at least if I can say this is the best I could do at that time in my life, this is where I am. So yeah, we're working a lot on them, more than we did before.
Là, toi, tu veux prendre ton B50, ton Beta 52 pour...
Regarde, moi je l'ai emmené, c'est toi le...
Ben ouais, mais c'est toi qui mixes ça.
Ouais, ben
juste parce que j'ai le descendu aussi.
Vous allez moins,
And for people who haven't heard your music before, what's the one song, the quintessential Will Driving West song that will sum up your guys' sound and you guys?
I think it'd be Airplanes, because it's the song. It starts off with, you know, nice cello and acoustic guitars, and boom, it goes like very loud, and it comes back to very soft. So you get like everything, because Will is not only Thieves, it's not only, like I said, you can't say, oh, this folk song or this big song, but this one's got a blend of both.
The airplane stayed in crashed into the sea like dead birds.
And let's talk about the songwriting. You write all the lyrics yourself, right? So talk about the songwriting process.
I always come with an idea. Most of the time, the lyrics are already written. Like I bring the skeleton, and they bring the meat on it. But lately, they've started bringing their ideas that, you know, modify the skeleton. You know, if you want the song to be the best, you can't put your ego in it and say, I want to write it. You know.
Where do you get inspiration for lyrics, or what do you like to write about?
I try to make them personal, because before I thought I'm gonna make generic songs so people can identify with them, but I realized that the more personal I write, the more people identify, because we all live pretty much the same stuff, you know. So and they can know it's real. When there were songs that that was very, very personal, like I don't have any money right now, and I can't even buy a dinner to my girlfriend. And I wrote a song about it, and I thought nobody's gonna care about that, but they do. And even rich people come, and I felt like that, you know. I've been there, and yeah, I try to write very deep personal stuff most of the time, and these are the songs that works the best.
Who's the loud one, trying to be the center of the room all the time, high on wine, shouting his stories, never ever worries that anyone else might have something to say, silently watching in the shadows with the tape on my lips, wondering if someday I will be bold enough to tell him, get the hell off my head, 'cause I don't need you anymore.
casa con il cello.
So you obviously love making music. What are your motivations for doing what you do?
I wouldn't know what else to do. You know, I have a very, very low tolerance for being bored or doing something that I don't like. So I couldn't be like it couldn't be just a hobby, you know. I love it so much, and if you love your job and you get plenty of free time and you get to do shows, and I mean, that's enough motivation for me. People ask me and they say, well, you do work, you make music. I'm like, no, I don't work, I never work. For me, it's not a quality, say that you work a lot. I mean, for me, it's a quality to say that you have a lot of quality time.
And you said earlier that, you know, don't go to you for advice on what to do if you have a band. So let's do it a little bit differently. What are some lessons learned that you have?
Don't listen to the naysayers. You know, everybody knows how to do it, but I mean, there's not a lot of artists that make it. So we've had people, oh, you can't do that, or making music is difficult, you know, struggling artists. And I don't believe in struggling artists. I believe that it's the most beautiful job in the world, and if you can only afford the peanut butter, well, if you paid your peanut butter with your songs, I mean, you're a rich man.
And so what's the dream here with you guys? What else do you want to accomplish with the band?
It's weird because when we started this band, there weren't any really folk guy making it big, you know. And in 2011, and the Mumford & Sons and of Monsters and Men, they came, and they were like, wow, you can play folk music and like tour the world and see the world, so that's awesome.
Ça a été quand même long à partir comme projet, mais pour moi, c'est signe que ça va durer très longtemps.
We're happy where we are right now. We're not like going to think we only will be happy only if we reach this level.
Ça, c'est pas quelque chose qui monte vraiment vite puis qui retombe 2 ans plus tard. C'est vraiment une longue ascension.
But of course we want to see Australia. Of course we want to see Europe. You know, if we can travel the world and make our music, it's awesome. But right now we're happy, and we're gonna get happier. We're only gonna get happier as it goes on.
Welcome to The Vocalist Magazine Presents, and this episode we've got a whole lot of soul featuring esteemed singer-songwriter, producer, and multi-instrumentalist Alan Prater, whose sheer talent and passion have led him to perform with some pretty recognizable talent, notably Millie Jackson and Jackson 5. Today, he's here with 8-person soul and old-school funk band, The Brooks.
It started like maybe elementary school, 4th, 5th grade. I was introduced to the violin, and from there I went to drums. In the beginning, music was something that was just over there. I was into baseball and basketball and track, and I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to be an Olympian. I wanted to be the best in the world, you know, that kind of thing. So music was always over there. But as I grew up, it kind of got closer to me all the time. I started playing trombone just by chance because when I changed schools, junior high schools, I was playing drums, and I went to the high school I went to, and the band director told me that there was so many drummers, and I wouldn't be able to march in the marching band. So I said, nah, I'm gonna miss that, so I need to do something. So he said, we need trumpet players or trombone players. And he showed me both instruments, and I chose the slide trombone. 2 years later, I was like one of the top trombonists in the state of Florida. And then from there to my university. We did halftimes at Super Bowls, we did presidential inauguration parades, we did all sorts of things like that.
And you are from Jacksonville, Florida, right?
Yes, yes. Well, actually, I was on my way to move to Europe. And I came to Montreal touring and fell in love with it. It had the European flavor and all the different cultures, and that was it.
So you went on tour with Millie Jackson, who is the first female rapper, is that right?
Yeah, a lot of people call her that. I would say she's definitely the first female rapper.
Okay, and so is that the biggest tour, the first big tour that you went on?
That was the very first professional tour I went on, yes. She came to my hometown. My band opened up for her, and my horn section played with her. She needed a horn section to play with her on her show. She left town. I stayed in touch. I drove from Jacksonville to Detroit, got there to the hotel where she was staying. I didn't know where she was playing, but I waited at the hotel. I knew where she was staying, waiting for her to come after her show. Fell asleep in my car, me and my two friends, and woke up. It was snow all over my car. I had no idea what it was. Saw snow for the first time. And her tour bus pulled up, and I saw her and attacked her, stalked her. And she said to me, what are you doing here? I said, I drove here to let you know I want to be in your band. She said, you drove all the way from Jacksonville? 15 hours? Yep, I did. She said, wow, you really want this gig? I said, yes, I do. She said, meet me in New York. I said, okay. And we joined her, and we was touring with her for about 2.5 years. It was my first professional, and we were touring and meeting all people from B.B. King, Albert King, Ozzy Brothers, Johnny Taylor, all the soul artists in the world I've met through Millie Jackson. The promoter for that tour was promoting the Jacksons tour. And they were auditioning horn sections at the time. He had all these horn sections from around the States that was auditioning for this tour. I wanted it so bad, and I kept bugging him about it, So he finally gave in and said, well, look, I have tickets for all the horn sections. I said, well, look, who are they? And he told me the horn sections, and I picked one, which I can say now, who I thought that they were too old for the Jacksons. I thought they were my favorite horn section, but they were too old for the Jacksons, I thought. So I said, well, let me have them. And you tell the story, the truth of it is the Memphis Horns. I hope that I don't get in trouble now, 20, 30 years later. But the Memphis Horns, and I pretended to be them. After we got there, and the guy comes, you know, a guy who stands at the airport, he had signed for your name there, and they had Memphis Horns. I said, that's us, guys. And the guys are like, that's not us. We're the East Coast Horns. That's not us. I said, yeah, but don't worry, they mixed up. Got in the car and drove to the Jackson's home, the mother's home. Rung on the gate, and she answered. Got in the kitchen, put my horns out, we all pulled our horns out, and we started playing the Jackson songs. And she freaked. She was like, got on the phone, calling the boys. These guys are in the kitchen playing you guys' song. Come over, come over. So all the brothers came over. Marlon, Tito, Jackie, everybody except Michael came over. And they heard us play. And the next day we went to rehearsal with them. And the rest was done. And when Michael heard it, he said, well, I don't care who you are. He eventually told him we weren't the Memphis Horns, we were the East Coast Horns. And he said, I don't care who you are now, you're the Jackson horn section. And that was it.
What was it like working with one of the most iconic musicians in history, Michael Jackson?
He's one of the most beautiful person I've ever met in my life. I mean, if you could say you met an angel before, he would be one. I have so many stories with him because he would come to my room almost every night at the concert and just chill and talk about where I come from. He was always intrigued by other people's lives, you know. I guess because he grew up on stage, you know.
Everybody feel all right? Right on, right on, right on. Come on.
So, Alan, about the Brooks, they were an instrumental band before you joined them. So tell me, how did you meet and how did you end up being a part of the band?
I was invited to do a night at a place called Liaisons, a jazz club. The band started playing, and I heard the first 3 seconds of the sound was, boom, my ears went up, and my hair went up. Like, wow. When I first met them, I heard them, it was like, what the heck is this? I never thought I would hear this in Montreal. And it brought me back to my childhood. And that was the connection with when I heard the Brooks, like that.
Quand Alan a entendu notre stock, moi j'avais envoyé l'album, en fait, via l'Internet. Puis Alan, il me renvoyait des tracks avec du vocal dessus.
So the next morning, I sent the song back to him. I went home and listened to it, and one song grabbed me. I stayed up till about 6 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, and finished it vocally and melody. And I sent it to him.
Quand on a commencé à recevoir les tracks avec les vocals dessus, on a fait, même si l'album est fini et masteré, on ouvre les tracks, ça vaut trop la peine. Fait que c'est ce qu'on a fait.
And he loved it. And he didn't expect me to do this at all. I just grabbed the instrumentals, and it was the way it was laid out was so ready for vocals, so I sent it to him. And he loved it, and he sent it to the band. Everybody freaked out over it.
The first gig that we had here for a whole month, it was with Alan, and then, I don't know, it just clicked. Love at first sight.
That's how it started.
There's so many who came before me who told the story right. We talk about wars, rumors of wars. CNN says, and I must agree, there's too many hang-guns in my neighborhood, in my communities. We got babies making babies. Babies making babies. My, my, my. And the future don't look so bright anymore. Babies making babies. You know how it is. Oh, you know. Babies making babies. Oh. Now, like Curtis Mayfield said, there's a hell below, we all gonna go. But right now, it feels like bloody hell. It feels like bloody hell. Hey, feels like bloody hell. It does, feels like blood. No one wants to take away sin. No one wants to solve our problem. Big Pharma wanna know if they can make some cash while we suffering, laying down, living like puppets on the ground. I'm looking forward for the day to come when all of these things will be gone. Then we talk about politicians, frustration, aggravation, ooh, and self-mutilation. Yeah, tell you one thing, y'all. It feels like bloody hell. Oh, yes, it does. It feels like bloody hell. Check. It feels like bloody hell. Feels like bloody hell. Now, one thing for certain. Life should be more like turned up fantasy. chasing things that make us run wild.
Dollar, dollar bills, yo.
Looking for a way out when there's no way to be found.
Dollar, dollar bills, yo.
Our days are numbered, no time for slumber. Ha. You got to be on your key. All extension, confusion of nations, love of family is number 2. I'm tired of excuses. They're killing our children. Cops going crazy. Making sense of things that just don't make no sense at all. As the world goes crazy.
The world goes crazy.
As the world goes crazy.
The world goes crazy.
Restless nights, peeping outside on canvases, no food.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, yeah. It feels like
bloody hell.
I don't think you heard me. I said it feels like
bloody hell.
Oh! Y'all hear what I'm saying? I said it feels like
bloody hell.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Oh!
Feels like bloody hell.
Somebody gotta tell a story and see it right. Big Pharma out there. Oh! We gotta find a better way, yeah. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Oh, believe me. The world's in trouble, y'all. Oh, the future's what we after. The future's what we after. Oh! Oh! It feels like a future shock. Oh! Wow! The future is right now.
What up, son? My friend feel like that. That's Phil.
Brooks released their debut album, Adult Entertainment, about a year ago. What was the theme of that album?
Well, the theme of it is that's like the sound. The sound is definitely the catch. That 70s soul thing. Yeah, like most of the things I heard from them, it put me in the mood of Curtis Mayfield. So the theme through the whole thing was really that funk soul, you know, that storytelling thing.
For me, that kind of music, it's a way of life. It has to be lived, you know, it has to go through, like, you know what I mean? You have to breathe soul, funk, and the singer has to know and be that, you know what I mean?
Music never stops for me. It always plays in my head. Like right now, I hear music in my head all the time. It never stops.
It's one song it's one who's got that one half of it is like, I don't know what's going on with that, but the second half it gets into this, it's James Brown kind of real soft little shuffle. It's like crazy.
Which one?
It's like it reminds me of no. Oh yeah.
This one?
It follows that.
Oh, you mean the end?
Further down.
Like the C part where it's like it gets to like
It gets to.
At the Vocalist magazine, we're very conscious about vocal health. And I understand that's something that you're very conscious about too. So talk about your diet and how you keep your voice healthy.
Yeah, well, I try to always sing every day. My diet, I'm a vegetarian. And so I'm always conscious of it. It gives me a lot more strength now. It gives me a little more endurance now. And I watch how I consume food. I also coach. I do vocal coaching, so it gives me a chance to do a little more than the norm by teaching others and sharing with others what I know. So that kind of keeps me right. But I'm always conscious of it all the time, keeping it lubricated. I know it sounds kind of frosty now, but singing is something I can do anytime.
And from all the places you've performed at, the venues, the countries, the people that you've worked with, what's your fondest memory?
being on the stage doing the national anthem here in Montreal at that game and hearing them introduce me and my family hearing the family name being announced in 150 countries around the world. That's my most fondest memory. Hands down, more than anything else I've done, is to stand there and say, Alan Prater. And my whole family heard it at the same time and saw it. So that was my fondest memory.
And do you consider yourself more of a musician or singer-songwriter? Musician.
My vocal is an instrument, so it's no separate like this piano. It's not like here's the instrument and here's a singer. It's the same for me. Here's an instrument and here's an instrument. I am an instrument, that's where I see it. Different voices, different textures, you know, so I sing with a lot of different voices, and depending on the song I'm writing or singing to merge that voice into that song, you know. So I use my voice as an instrument.
On est très consciencieux des paroles de tout, autant les tons, autant la musique, autant la façon qu'on va approcher une chanson. Mais les paroles, je veux dire, il faut que ça puisse le soutenir, justement, la musique. Fait que...
Les paroles, puis you know, just the delivery, you know? When it hurts, it's gotta hurt, you know?
Hey. You feel it, so let your body lie. Hang on, sister. Hey girl, check it. The world got to start, it's alright. You have that bright light shining down. So many things you want to show love. Party people, come on. Hey! You can tell everywhere, baby. You look as well, I can say. Girl, you're so fine. Think you're good tonight. Woo! Hang on, sister. Don't you worry about a thing. Think about tomorrow. It's all about tonight. Hang on, sister. You're looking fly. Ha. Just think about drink. Be real, no more thinking. It's all about the story tonight. When you think that you want to feel, celebrating you've been born here. Be sure for to feel love. Party people, come on. Hey, party people, stand up. Let the light shine upon you while you have a good time. Have a good time. Girl, let your body wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, girl. All right, y'all. Y'all ready? Come on. Party up. Party up. Party up. Party up. Come on. Party up. I see you, girl. Party up. Come on. You keep the party. And you dance to the song. You live for the rest of it. And yeah. Woo. Ha. Don't think about tomorrow. It's all about tonight. Jump, feel it. Oh! Don't worry, girl. Oh! Party people, come on. Oh! Don't worry. Woo! Yeah! Oh, yeah! Party people, come on.
Over the years, what are some challenges that you've experienced?
Well, musically, being here, just around the city, the R&B, the soul music, is not the music here, and it's not that such a big thing. People not knowing the music or anything. It was about just putting the music in a place where people who loved it could hear it, so it defined the audience. You know what I mean? So that kind of took a while. And Quebec people are so knowledgeable about R&B music and soul music. It's incredible. Incredible. I mean, seriously, incredible. Quebecers, I'm telling you, they know a lot about soul and R&B music. So that's the easy part. But it was just finding the audience.
And the Brooks, with adult entertainment, that's done. Are you thinking about the next album now?
Yes, very much so. We've already started process on that. We come together a few times and we come in the studio here and just bang out grooves, bring out melodies, and see what happens. So that's where we are now. I've got quite a few things that I've sketched out melodies and stories for now. And it's the whole thing, telling a good story, So this album is going to be a little more intriguing because the first one we met like that, we met on a whim, and it came off nice. But this one, we're starting together on this one. So it's going to be really, really cool.
Notre but, c'est pas de faire ça. Oui, on veut en vivre, mais sauf que notre but, c'est de faire ce qui est sorti le plus naturellement de nous autres. C'est de faire la musique, c'est de faire de l'art. Je pense pas qu'on peut obliger quelqu'un à peindre quelque chose. Je pense juste qu'il faut que ça vienne de son imagination et de ce qu'il ressent sur le moment. Brooks a été comme ça. C'est une peinture qui reste encore beaucoup de choses à peindre parce qu'on a quand même, malgré le fait qu'on est d'ici, je pense pas qu'on croit nécessairement à des frontières. On veut vraiment continuer à aller vers l'extérieur. Pour nous autres, c'est d'aller vers ce côté-là, justement, parce que la musique n'a pas nécessairement de frontières. On vit d'ici, on est super content du buzz, mais pourquoi pas voyager, puis partir un peu ailleurs pendant des semaines, quelques mois.
Maybe the Carnegie Hall, like we said.
And Alan, what's the best piece of advice anyone's ever given you?
Ever given me? Probably being honest in the music, being honest with what you feel in the music, no matter what people tell you how it should go, what's the correct way of doing this and doing that. So there's no wrong notes. It's what you did with the note before or the note after. So my best advice that I've ever gotten is that there's nothing wrong. Just be honest with what you're feeling and let it go.
Oh, come on now.
It's more earth than it.
See, look at that. See, look at that. See? Oh.
What else are you trying to accomplish with music that you haven't yet?
That I haven't?
Yeah, man.
Writing that song, writing that perfect song, if it exists, that song that moves people, that moves creatures, that moves plants, that right song that moves the air, that moves clouds, that moves the sun. Can I write a song that make the sun move when I wanted to move? Can I write a song that make the sun come up when I wanted to come up? Can I write a song to make all the forest animals come and hang around me like I'm in Disney World. You know, I really want to write that song before the transition. I want to write that song, strike the right chord. That'll make you follow me around, make everybody follow me around, do the Pied Piper, you know? on the real though, that's what I really want to do. I want to write that song, the ultimate song, you know, yeah.
Welcome to The Vocalist Magazine Presents. I'm your host, Anna. If you ever feel like escaping the exasperations of every day or just the noise of the city, the relaxing cinematic sound of today's band is fit for just that. Punctuated by somewhat abstract lyrics, their music is filled with imagery, while their vivid musical arrangements are quite vast and yet manage to somehow feel intimate. They've released 3 albums since coming together in 2004, and over the years, their music has been featured in a number of films and shows. Right now, get ready to escape with Surface of Atlantic.
Surface of Atlantic has really led me to explore new territories in music. You know, it really enabled me to go and find some sounds that I never would have imagined, you know, if I hadn't been in the project. And this is really, you know, a great place to just like, you know, experiment and meet different musicians that have great musicianship and are able to write great songs, you know.
I wrote these words in a constant pattern. You're getting blind with my prose and lines.
I was born in Washington, and my dad worked for the World Bank, so I ended up by traveling a lot. Like I lived like 4 years in Belgium, and then I moved to Egypt afterwards, 4 years. I moved to Montreal at the end of high school to study at McGill, and that was a big change for me, you know, coming up north in Canada. First time here, it was freezing. Winters were really difficult. But yeah, I really learned a lot from being here, you know, and that this place is really bilingual. And since my mom is French, I always grew up like in a sort of bilingual household. And I really appreciated that of Montreal because people speak both languages, and I felt like this was really my home, you know.
No one inside but ghosts like a lion. Staring, they leave me no way out. We all want to see how dark was the night when everything's perfect every time.
You came here for your studies.
Yeah.
And you're studying at McGill in medicine right now, right?
Well, actually, I did my bachelor's at McGill, and then I went to University of Montreal to do my medical school. And right now I'm a resident in immunology and allergy. So I did like a lot of studies. I've been like studying for the past like 12 years, you know.
And both of these disciplines, they require a lot of time. Is it ever difficult to balance the two?
Of course, yeah, that's a very difficult thing to do because, you know, medical school studies are pretty demanding and you have to, like, you know, always be studying and, you know, you work like long hours, but I've always, you know, put some time aside to jam and to spend time recording and writing and composing. So I've been able to juggle both passions, actually, and it's something that really keeps me going because, you know, if I wasn't doing any music, I think I would probably be really, really sad and miserable, or just like studying all the time and stuff. So I'm glad I have that on the side too. Yeah.
Was there any music in your childhood?
Yeah, well, while growing up, I played a lot of piano. So I was formed as in a classical background. I started like at the age of 5. I played concertos, I played recitals, and I got a few awards too while growing up. I actually started my own band at the age of 16, and back then, you know, I was inspired a lot by bands like Radiohead and British music. I started playing the guitar too at the same time, and yeah, I've had a pretty big background in music before getting here.
I got here and no one down, downwards,
Our sound is really based on layers. We got a lot of keyboard layers, a lot of different guitar tones, and it's not really about the chords that we play, but it's mainly about the way the chords sound.
We use lots of echoes and the sound of the room too. When we use a piano, we record the room too. So that's a big part of our sound.
So we can spend days and days just working on one note, you know, being like, well, you know, this note has to sound exactly like that. This amp has to be positioned in this direction. This mic has to be put in this kind of position. Each sound has to be placed the right position in the song. Our tones are, you know, all really well thought of, and we use a lot of textures like ambient layers and also different guitar tones that you can hear a lot in our music.
Sometimes we hear that, oh, that's Marco tone. Marco tone is just a Fender Mustang through an old amp with lots of reverb and echo, and it's not super clean. It's in between. Sometimes it's a bit of overdrive, saturation from, you know, an amp that just want to blow, you know. That's my sound, Marco tone.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the ring, Eric Bazania.
Eric Bazian in the building right now. Show us, baby. Let him. That's all you got? That's all you got? Come on, man. What's a typical workout week or workout day for you?
Me, I train twice a day. 3 times a week we do conditioning, 2 times a week sparring, and the other day is just like regular boxing work.
So you had 109 wins in your amateur career.
Yes.
When did you start fighting?
No, like this. 14 years old.
14 years old.
Yeah.
And you turned professional when?
18.
18.
Yeah.
So in 4 years you had 109 fights. We need the world title right now. Come on, Bezo. You know, this is the Grant Brothers gym. Grant Brothers here. Your last match, you were overweight.
Everybody makes mistakes in his life.
Okay.
And, it was a big mistake, it was disappointment, but now I learn it's better to learn now than before, you know? After, sorry.
So how are you gonna
And I'm
use
just
that experience
to
motivate you. How's that going to motivate you?
Yes, it motivates me like crazy.
The red trunks trimmed with gold. You might have been able to see it during the fighter introductions, but the entire balcony here at the Olympia Theater is filled with Brazilian fans waving Armenian flags. It is quite the atmosphere.
So where are we exactly right now?
Right now we are in the church in Laval, Surpkevork Church.
Okay.
It's Armenian church in Laval.
Okay, nice.
It's in the community center.
Okay, good.
So in the community center of Laval, we have a lot of organizations that work in the society of Laval.
Yes.
One of them is the Armenian Relief Society,
Yes.
which help the needy and do fundraisings and help the needy of Armenians, but not specifically Armenians, of the Laval community in general. We have the Homentmen Physical Activity organization that actually encourages the youth to come and do sports.
I used to play basketball against those guys.
Really?
Yes.
And?
I used to beat them
Were
by
they
50
good?
points.
Oh, you used to be.
It's okay though, it's all love, baby, it's all love.
All right. The first technique we're gonna do is block and jab. So the one partner, he throws jab, the other guy blocks and gives back another jab. So he starts.
What are you teaching them right now? What are you teaching them right now?
Now I'm teaching them like the basics. They know it, but I'm trying to correct them, you know.
Okay.
The first thing in boxing, it's the key is the jab. So slowly, I'm gonna take the techniques and the combinations and I'm gonna correct at the same time.
All right, I'll let you do your thing.
Step in. Hands up and always turn your punches.
It's amazing that we have a
I got nothing to lose. I'm going for my victory, 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 victory. We always on the block and we going for the victory, victory, victory,
Boxing Life TV. Today we're at the Grand Gym, and I'm hanging out with Christian, Dwayne Diamond Durrell, the student and the coach. Dwayne Diamond Durrell, how does it feel being a coach?
I cannot say that I'm a coach, you know. I just try to help him out, and you know, in his life with boxing, school, and you know, as a young father I am, it's important for me, I think, to help the young talents and young people who want to succeed in the same thing that I do. So I'm really happy to help him out and help the other young people we have, and I work with Otis Howard on that, and it's really nice. I cannot say that I'm a coach, you know, I just try.
So what do you do? How many times a week do you train before a fight?
I train 2 times a day for
2 times a day?
5-6 weeks.
Wow.
But I always train hard, even if I don't have fight or things like that, because it's just my life, you know? It's just what I do every day, and I wake up and I come to the gym, I grind and come back to my house, take care of my family, and...
You don't get tired working on that often?
No, I'm smart, you know? I don't train like crazy and just... I recover also, I eat well. Okay. I do some sauna, I do everything like I need to perform, you know? Yeah, I used to be in Muay Thai because I love kicks and knees and elbow, you know? It's really nice, but this thing doesn't pay, man.
No?
No. Thailand for my last fight in Muay Thai. Okay. It's nice, like, but if you want to do a career and fed up your family, that's the wrong sports.
So how did Muay Thai boxing help you make the transition to boxing? How did it help you?
Just maybe the hurt.
Yeah?
That's it. Because it's tough.
Okay.
It's really tough. The guys, they're warrior, you know.
Oh, yeah?
You get cut, you get like injured all the time because you have the kick,
Wow.
shin to shin. Like it's really tough, you know.
Okay.
But it's really different than boxing. Boxing, in boxing the thing is you want to hit someone but don't get hit, right?
Okay.
In Muay Thai it's different. Guys stay in front one of each other and they just like throw and throw. Like.
What do you need to bring your craft to the next level?
Just keep working. Keep working. I'm in the gym six days a week. Every time I'm here, everybody know me here as a hard worker, you know. I love fashion things, I love entertainment and things like that, but like I'm also an hard worker, you know. I was in the gym and I struggle hard.
You see him, right? He got the gold gloves, he got the swag. I want you to show us what you got, baby. Dwayne, Diamond Jarrell, that's all you got? We're in the Grand Gym right now, baby.
Hand up, head down, move your head.
Are you doing this more for a pastime, or are you really taking this boxing serious?
Well, at the beginning, it started as like a pastime just to have fun with it. But now, as I train harder and work harder, it starts to I start thinking about wanting to do this, try to take it more seriously, and start fighting soon, have some competitions.
And how long you been boxing for?
Around 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Then finish with it, feeling good.
What's the importance for you to give back to the community and work with the kids?
I think it's the future. The kids, they're the future, and we try to, help them to be out of the street and out of the trouble. And being in the gym, I think it's a good thing for that.
Here you see it's high-paced work. Yeah, okay, you want to throw fast, move, fast, all the time. Because you see,
How do you like him as a trainer?
He's a very good trainer. I get like another more experienced fighter's take on it. He tells me what to do, what I could do better than it, how I can improve myself to be someday like him, a pro fighter. And it's very good for me, and I like it a lot.
What does he need to improve on as a boxer?
Oh, he's young. He's just 15, so yeah. So
come on, man, you ain't only 15 years old. You serious? You only 15?
Yeah, I'm only 15.
So you got a lot of things to work on, but you continue like that, you're gonna evolve really fast, and he already did. He's not in the boxing world since a long time, so he do really good.
What do you feel you have to work on?
Well, since I'm a taller fighter, I need to work on my jab. Just keep them at distance, get faster, a lot faster. Because I'm a bigger guy, I need to work on my speed, my footwork. Because the smaller guys will already be a bit faster than me, but I have more power than them, so I just need to be faster.
I pay same thing, always control. And the faster you can go.
I got nothing to lose. I'm going for my victory, 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 victory.
Tu sais comment ça se passe, going down avec Ghislain, Manny, Maduma, live dans la place. What up, big? En forme?
Yeah.
Tu fais des conférences ici avec les jeunes. Explique-nous un peu ton implication avec les jeunes et les conférences.
J'ai été approché à quelques reprises pour faire des conférences pour des jeunes parce que je suis quand même une figure positive dans le monde montréalais. Je viens d'un quartier très difficile, au Hochelaga-Maisonneuve, et j'étais capable de devenir un athlète de classe mondiale. Fait que c'est une belle histoire que ça peut être une motivation pour les jeunes.
Qu'est-ce que tu leur dis?
Je leur parle un peu de mon histoire. Je leur dis un peu comment j'ai commencé la boxe, de toujours y croire, de toujours être positif et de toujours être prêt à mettre le travail pour pouvoir atteindre tes objectifs. Et puis, le plus important que moi j'ai dit aux jeunes, c'est d'avoir une passion. C'est important d'avoir une passion. Quand tu as une passion, c'est quelque chose qui te donne l'énergie pour travailler, pour rester positif, qui te garde loin de tous les problèmes qu'il peut y avoir dans la société.
Je suis présentement avec Coach Lou du gym Underdog. Ça va bien, mec?
Ça va super, toi?
Good, merci, merci. So, présentement, on a M. Beck derrière nous qui est en train de faire du pyrométrie.
Là, on est dans la partie de réchauffement, mais aujourd'hui, c'est la pliométrie qu'on va faire. Alors, Manny, tu sais, t'es quelqu'un de très explosif et on va continuer de travailler ce point fort, là.
Et c'est quoi le but de ça?
Tous les boxeurs ont besoin d'une préparation vraiment très prononcée pour pouvoir performer. Alors, le travail en gymnase, c'est plus assez. Les boxeurs sont trop forts, trop évolués. Manny, c'est une de ces personnes qu'on veut s'assurer qu'ils soient capables de faire 12 rounds facilement et 12 rounds excitants à haute vitesse.
Avant de venir au Canada, tu as quitté le Congo à cause de la guerre. Est-ce qu'il y a encore la guerre là-bas? Est-ce que c'est encore dur pour le monde au Congo?
Ça a été en grosse partie à cause de l'instabilité politique. Pas nécessairement une guerre en particulier, mais il y avait toujours une instabilité politique, il y avait toujours une possibilité de guerre. Le monde là-bas, ils s'en rendent même plus compte. Quand tu vas là-bas, ils vivent comme si c'est le bonheur parfait parce que c'est comme... on appelle même ça une réalité, là. C'est comme, s'il y a une guerre, OK.
C'est normal pour eux.
Ouais, c'est un peu normal. Puis c'est sûr qu'il y a toujours une petite crainte quand il y a des obus qui tombent à des kilomètres de chez toi. C'est sûr que, j'ai déjà vécu ça, là. C'est jamais le fun, là. C'est jamais le fun parce que tu sais jamais quand c'est pas toi le prochain, là, tu sais.
T'as créé une fondation. Parle-nous un peu du but de la fondation.
Ma fondation a commencé quand je suis allé en Afrique. Quand c'était l'été passé, il y a des jeunes qui m'ont parlé comme... ils m'ont dit comme une affaire qui m'a vraiment touché. Il y en a un qui m'a dit moi, cette année, j'irai pas à l'école. Il était à l'université cette dernière année. Il dit moi, cette année, j'irai pas à l'école parce que mes parents n'ont pas les moyens pour payer.
Puis ça l'avait beaucoup marqué son expérience qu'il a partagée avec nous. Puis il a voulu aider justement la jeunesse là-bas en toute forme, mais pas juste au niveau athlétique. C'est vraiment au niveau académique qu'il a voulu aider tout le monde. Alors, on voulait leur offrir la possibilité d'aller étudier, de pousser plus loin parce qu'il a vu que c'est un problème qu'il y avait même dans son entourage proche. C'est l'accessibilité aux études.
Puis moi, j'ai demandé combien ça coûte pour l'université. Il me dit ça coûte pour l'année, ça coûte 300 $. Mais 300 $ là-bas, c'est beaucoup d'argent. Puis moi, j'étais comme touché. J'étais comme, waouh, tu vas arrêter l'université maintenant. Tu as la dernière année pour 300 $. Fait que quand j'ai rentré sur les chemins du retour, ça m'a travaillé beaucoup. Puis il me dit comme, tu sais, quelque chose que je pourrais faire. Il y a beaucoup de problèmes en Afrique, mais ça, c'était comme quelque chose que moi, j'ai dit, je pourrais apporter une certaine aide.
Explique-nous qu'est-ce qui se passe présentement.
On est rendu au stade où est-ce qu'on travaille l'explosion de Manny. Manny, on a fait beaucoup de sets de préparation. On a entamé ce qu'on appelle des singles. On a monté progressivement de 1 à 2 à 3. On est à peu près à 48 pouces de hauteur. Ouais.
Comme un joueur de basket?
Ouais. continuer avec une autre sorte de biométrie, ça va être ce qu'on appelle des death jump. On va enlever ces poids-là, il va commencer sur la boîte, sauter au sol, se laisser tomber au sol, puis après exploser dans les airs.
Fait que ça, dans le métro, le monde vous ignore, le monde se colle sur le mur, le monde se met sur leur selle, à juste leur volume, font de son mystère vraiment pas.
Il a décidé dernièrement d'aider les personnes qui travaillaient dans la rue en lui-même passant 24 heures dans la rue. Alors, tu vas pas voir ça souvent. Un athlète professionnel qui, techniquement, devrait manger à telle heure, se reposer, décider d'aller dans la rue.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé, c'est que j'ai un ami qui s'appelle Mathieu Léonard, qui travaille beaucoup, il fait beaucoup de bénévolat, il travaille beaucoup dans la communauté de montréalaise. Lui, l'année passée, il avait un projet d'aller passer 24 heures comme itinérant. Fait qu'il va dormir dehors, il va quêter de l'argent dans les rues. Il a ramassé de l'argent pour ma fondation, puis il nous a fait un don après, à la fin, quand il a fini son 24 heures, il nous a fait un don. Mais cette année, quand il voulait le faire, là, moi, j'y ai proposé comme, tu sais, au lieu de le faire pour ma fondation cette année, moi, je vais venir avec toi, puis on va le faire pour une autre fondation.
Bonsoir. Un peu de chambre? Change.
Qu'est-ce que tu as appris?
Oh, qu'est-ce que j'ai appris, c'est vraiment, c'est quelque chose de très difficile. Moi, j'ai le choix, j'avais le choix d'être là, j'avais le choix, je le faisais pour sensibiliser tout justement le monde à cette situation-là, parce qu'il y a beaucoup d'itinérance à Montréal, puis on sait même pas combien qui sont exactement, t'sais.
Alors, évidemment, nous, on l'a trouvé fou, mais ça explique exactement qui est Justin. Quelqu'un qui est engagé socialement et qui est prêt à faire les pas et non juste en parler. Il n'est pas juste prêt à donner de sa bourse, il est prêt à se sacrifier physiquement.
On a rencontré du monde qui sont là, puis qu'eux, ils n'ont pas le choix d'être dans la rue. T'sais, on a rencontré un jeune qui, lui, il venait du Nord. Il vivait dans la rue depuis 6 ans, un jeune de 22 ans. Et il nous expliquait ça, parce que la fois qu'il m'avait touché pour ces jeunes-là, il m'avait dit que pour la première fois depuis des mois, il a pris une douche. Il venait de prendre une douche dans un centre.
Ça se passe à Montréal, ça?
Oui, c'est à Montréal.
On est dans une petite surface ici. Alors, j'ai utilisé l'espace que j'ai ici pour travailler l'explosion de manie, un peu comme des sprints. Je l'ai attaché avec une élastique parce qu'il y a une résistance, il va devoir sprinter pendant 20 secondes. 20 secondes, c'est à peu près, grosso modo, faire un 150-200 mètres, peut-être plus 200 mètres pour Mani qui est très, très athlétique. Après le sprint, Mani a 1 minute de repos. Il y a la dualité de devoir courir et devoir pousser à travers l'élastique en renforcement des jambes. Et l'élastique repousse contre lui. Alors, c'est comme si on triplait la résistance de l'air, on quadruplait la résistance de l'air. Alors, c'est comme un sprint sur les stéroïdes, grosso modo.
T'es un gros gars là, bien mature. Oui. Explique-nous la cause.
Les gars-là, bien mature, parce que l'année passée, comme que je te disais tout à l'heure, on a fait un show humour et musique pour donner les bourses d'études. Oui. Mais cette année, on a voulu faire ça un peu différent. Comme j'ai eu l'idée de faire un gala-programme. Ça a été d'abord pour aider un ami aussi, parce que c'est un peu difficile dans la promotion ici à Montréal, au Québec. Et que cette année, l'objectif, c'était de ramasser 14 bourses d'études. Puis c'est quoi qu'une meilleure façon que de faire quelque chose que j'aime? On fait un gala de boxe.
Madoma, c'est un gars qui a un très bon cœur. Il est toujours là à vouloir aider tout le monde. Puis c'est un gars qui a toujours le sourire, je l'ai jamais vu fâché.
Mais là maintenant, je me bats pas, c'est moi qui est organisateur, c'est moi qui est promoteur. C'est vraiment un peu différent de voir l'autre côté, comment ça fonctionne, tous les métiers. Mais tu sais, je pourrais pas te faire tout ça grâce à ma femme. Tu sais, ma femme, moi j'ai les idées, mais c'est ma femme, Claudia Marisol, qui fait en sorte que tout marche. Moi j'ai eu l'idée.
Elle gère le tout.
Moi j'ai eu l'idée de comme, OK. Bébé, on va faire un gala de boxe.
En fait, le plus gros défi, c'est qu'on n'avait pas de budget. On est parti de 0 $. Puis c'est quand même assez dispendieux faire un gala pro-am. Donc le défi, ça a été d'aller chercher les fonds, les commanditaires, s'assurer que les gens allaient venir. Parce que si les gens venaient pas, on vend pas de billets, on peut pas payer tous les coûts et tout. Donc je pense que ça a été le plus gros défi. L'année l'année passée, on a fait un show. Puis cette année, c'est le double. On a le double de personnes. On a ramassé le double d'argent. Donc, je pense qu'on est dans la bonne voie puis qu'on fait une bonne chose. Puis on va continuer.
Nice. You know what it is. Tu sais comment ça se passe. It's going down avec le soleil unique. Ghislain, Manu, Maduma.
Victory, 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 victory. We always on the block and we going for the victory, 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 victory.
Vaincu en 2 combats, 2 victoires. She is undefeated in 2 professional bouts with a perfect 2 victories. Accueillons de Saint-Eustache, Marie-Ève Dicker.
Going for my victory, 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 victory. We always on the block and we going for the victory, 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 victory.
Je suis avec la boxeuse Marie-Ève Dicker. Ça va bien?
Oui, ça se parle bien aussi, toi?
Des workouts comme aujourd'hui, comment est-ce que ça aide avec ta carrière de boxe?
En fait, ça travaille une de mes grosses lacunes, qui est le système nerveux, c'est-à-dire l'explosion. Moi, je suis une personne endurante, je suis une personne qui peut courir pendant 4 heures, je pourrais faire un 12 rounds sans problème. Par contre, l'explosion, le système nerveux, c'est quelque chose qui est un petit peu plus difficile. Donc, des entraînements comme ça, sur le coup, je suis jamais fatiguée. Comme là, je suis super en forme. Par contre, là, à un moment donné, ça fait un shutdown, puis oups, ça rebâtit par la suite.
Ça prend beaucoup l'eau pour l'entraînement comme ça. Hein?
Oui, toujours. L'eau, ben, c'est pas... Tous les entraînements, l'important, c'est de s'hydrater. Donc, peu importe ce qu'on fait, on boit toujours de l'eau. Il faut me le rappeler même des fois, là.
Ben, l'idée, c'est qu'on travaille au niveau du diaphragme, aux exercices de respiration. Le diaphragme, c'est ce qui ferme le corps là, par en haut, si on veut dire. C'est ce qui va aider à créer une pression intra-abdominale, transférer l'énergie au niveau des jambes. Puis aussi au niveau des boxeurs, c'est ce qui est très important quand ils reçoivent des coups au niveau du corps. Okay? Il faut que ça contracte et que ça contracte de façon rapidement et en excentrique pour pouvoir résister l'impact des coups.
Celui-là en latéral, en explosion.
Sol, diaphragme avec le ballon. Okay?
6, 10, 10.
6, 10, 6 chaque côté.
Quand tu t'entraînes, c'est quoi ton objectif?
Mon objectif, c'est toujours être meilleur. Donc, tantôt, comme on voyait, quand on a travaillé avec la poulie, puis Marc-André est arrivé pour l'arrêter, je suis comme « Hey, non, I want numbers ». Pour moi, on dirait que ma vie se résume à des notes, des chiffres. Il faut toujours que je sois meilleur. Comme il y a 2 semaines, je faisais 419, puis je disais à Marc-André, si je fais 415, j'ai une surprise. So he goes like, OK. Puis aujourd'hui, j'ai fait, je pense, 445.
Ça fait à peu près 1 an que tu travailles avec elle?
Oui, un petit peu au-dessus d'un an, oui.
Comment est-ce qu'elle s'est améliorée?
Ah, énormément, énormément. Vous avez vu un petit peu la façon qu'on travaille. Là. Toutes les athlètes qui n'ont pas été exposés au genre de trucs qu'on fait, c'est incroyable, là, les adaptations qu'on voit au début. Puis elle progresse de façon constante. C'est une travaillante, là, donc on n'a pas de problème à ce niveau-là. Là.
Alors, explique-nous un peu qu'est-ce qui se passe derrière nous.
En fait, c'est un cours de karaté. C'est sûr que, comme on l'a mentionné souvent, moi, j'ai commencé ma formation avec le karaté à l'âge de 6 ans. J'ai ouvert ma propre... J'ai commencé à enseigner pour mon entraîneur, mon professeur de karaté. J'ai par la suite ouvert ma propre école, toujours sous la même bannière. Donc, Karaté Sunfuki, c'est l'école avec laquelle je suis depuis l'âge de 6 ans. Donc, j'ai ouvert sur la même bannière. Puis là, en ce moment, c'est un cours de karaté qui est donné par une de mes élèves. C'est Vicky qui le donne. Vicky a commencé le karaté avec moi à l'âge de 4 ans. Elle est rendue maintenant à 19 ans, ceinture noire 3e dan. Donc, en ce moment, c'est vraiment comme ça un petit peu qu'on fonctionne, surtout quand je suis proche d'un combat. Ce sont mes élèves qui redonnent mes cours. Donc, moi, je leur enseigne au début de la semaine, j'enseigne la thématique de la semaine, je prends mes ceintures avancées, puis par la suite, le restant de la semaine, ce sont mes élèves qui redonnent à mes nouveaux élèves.
Et là, vous allez faire le side blade kick. Donc, on lève le genou en avant et on va frapper sur le côté comme ceci.
Marie-Ève me gardait quand j'étais tout petite, vraiment bébé. Fait que pour moi, ça a toujours été mon exemple à moi. Elle m'a vu grandir complètement. Ça a été comme ma deuxième maman. Elle m'a toujours supportée, autant dans la vie personnellement que dans mon cheminement au karaté.
Dis-nous quelque chose qu'on ne connaît pas de Marie.
Quelque chose que vous ne connaissez pas. Bien sûr, comme vous voyez, c'est une personne qui va toujours être super dynamique, qui va niaiser. Mais par contre, c'est la fille la plus autonome, la plus à son affaire. Moi, je la vois en dehors des caméras, en dehors de tout. Ce que je la vois faire ses diètes dans ses moments les plus difficiles. Puis elle n'a jamais lâché. Marie-Ève a toujours su bien affronter les obstacles puis les surmonter.
Et toi, tu avais une chance d'aller aux Jeux olympiques pour la boxe?
Bien, en fait, j'étais championne canadienne dans les 141 livres, c'est-à-dire 64 kilos.
C'est amateur?
Oui, amateur, exactement, amateur. Donc, j'étais championne canadienne dans cette catégorie de poids. Mais les femmes, on a juste 3 catégories de poids aux Jeux olympiques, 119, 132 et 165. Donc, il aurait fallu que je descende de catégorie de poids. Puis, malheureusement, il est arrivé la blessure. Donc, j'ai été 1 an en dehors de pouvoir me battre, en dehors de participer aux compétitions. C'est de là que j'ai pris une décision de tournée professionnelle puis de pousser des portes parce que tout le monde me disait c'est impossible, oublie la boxe professionnelle pour les femmes, ça n'existe pas. Je dis well, why not? I'm gonna do it. Maybe somebody's gonna open the door one day, and that's what's happening right now.
Parle-nous un peu de son attitude.
Très bonne attitude. Elle est très dédiée, elle écoute à la lettre. On peut pas demander plus. Là. C'est pas le cas de tout le monde, je vous dirais. Là.
C'est quoi ses strengths à elle?
Très endurante. Elle est très forte mentalement. Donc elle, ça pourrait durer très longtemps et ça serait pas un problème. Là.
Comment sens-tu?
Ah, super bien.
Pas fatigué?
Jamais ça prend plus que ça pour me brûler, moi.
Sérieux?
Ouais, bien sûr. C'est ce que je dis, mais le soir, quand j'arrive chez moi, je dors. Mais juste le soir. Mais c'est difficile.
Et comment tu balances ta vie personnelle, ton travail et ta carrière de boxe? C'est beaucoup de travail. Hein?
Oui, c'est beaucoup de travail. Je pense que la clé, c'est de vivre de nos passions. Ma vie personnelle se résume à être un athlète. Disons que oui, famille, amis, tout ça, mais c'est sûr que tout mon cercle autour de moi, ils sont conscients des sacrifices que je dois faire. Pour moi, je travaille pas. Je me lève le matin puis je fais ce que j'aime dans la vie, c'est-à-dire que je viens m'entraîner, je vais boxer, j'enseigne le karaté, j'enseigne la boxe, je vais dans des galas de boxe avec mes boxeurs, je vais dans des compétitions de karaté avec mes élèves. Fait que pour moi, c'est pas nécessairement des sacrifices. C'est sûr que si j'aimais pas ça, ça serait une autre histoire. Mais pour moi, je me lève à tous les matins puis I'm just so happy to do it.
Alors, parle-nous un peu de votre programme de leadership.
Oui, bien en fait, quand on devient ceinture noire, le but, c'est d'apprendre à enseigner. Le but, c'est de redonner. Les arts martiaux, c'est quelque chose, c'est une histoire de... C'est l'art de vie. Donc, on apprend le respect, la discipline, la confiance, l'estime. Et le but, c'est d'apprendre à redonner ça. Donc, tout l'enseignement qu'ils ont reçu au fil des années, maintenant, ils le retransmettent. C'est ce qui fait que, comme l'école est ouverte depuis maintenant 10 ans, c'est ce qui fait que j'ai plusieurs ceintures noires et qui me permet vraiment d'avoir des ceintures noires à chacun des cours. Comme en ce moment, c'est Vicky qui est en charge parce qu'elle est la plus avancée. Sinon, on a Nourdine qui est assistant instructeur et il y a Adam qui ont commencé avec moi il y a 6-7 ans de ça maintenant. 3, 4, vitesse, puissance! Puissance.
Marie-Ève, elle est très, très gentille. Elle m'a offert des grands services pour me rendre jusqu'ici. J'ai réussi à monter très haut. Je suis rendu assez fort, championnat du monde et tout.
Félicitations.
Merci. Et je pense que c'est grâce à elle et à toute l'équipe qui est ici. Quand elle donne des cours, elle est sérieuse. Elle nous aide et tout. Mais quand elle sort, elle devient gentille puis elle sourit sur tout le monde.
C'est une bonne personne et elle nous apprend beaucoup de nouvelles choses qu'on ne connaît pas encore.
Elle s'applique beaucoup dans son travail. Moi, j'aime ça l'avoir travaillé parce que je trouve qu'elle travaille quand même bien et j'aimerais ça aussi devenir ceinture noire comme elle.
Marie, c'est une fille très énergétique. Fait qu'avec des jeunes, c'est sûr que c'est excellent. Elle aime ça jouer avec eux autres. Fait que tout ce qu'elle leur apprend, c'est en jouant, donc c'est toujours plus plaisant, puis ça rentre toujours plus facilement avec un jeune. C'est sûr que au lieu d'être strict, il y a toujours du plaisir dans tout ce qu'elle fait.
Je sais aussi que tu aides aussi des jeunes défavorisés.
Oui, bien, on a des programmes dans lesquels, si jamais il y a des enfants où c'est un petit peu plus difficile, nous, le but, c'est de faire connaître notre art, autant en la boxe qu'en karaté. Ce qu'on va faire avec eux, on va échanger des arts de ménage ou des arts de cours, des choses comme ça. Donc, pour leur permettre de découvrir ces disciplines-là puis de les aider dans la vie, parce que c'est sûr que c'est quelque chose qui peut leur permettre de grandir puis peut-être leur permettre d'aller un petit peu plus loin qu'ils auraient été en restant dans la rue, en faisant des mauvais coups dans les parcs et tout ça, là.
C'est quoi les aptitudes de vie le plus important que les jeunes apprennent ici?
Je pense qu'en karaté, c'est vraiment au niveau de la discipline, l'art de vivre. Je pense que c'est le respect des valeurs, le respect des principes. Comme vous avez pu voir, ils ont une gorgée d'eau, ils vont se replacer à leur place. Quand ils entrent dans le dojo, ils doivent faire un salut. Le respect des titres, le respect de la hiérarchie, de l'environnement de travail et tout ça, ce sont des choses que je pense qui peuvent les aider énormément dans la vie de tous les jours.
Bon jab de même, c'est ça. Continue le jab.
Won't you believe it? It's not over tonight. Just give me one more chance to get right. I make it through the night. I won't go home without you.
Qu'est-ce que toi, t'aimerais apporter à la boxe féminine au Québec?
En fait, mon but, c'est peut-être d'être précurseur, de dire que je vais ouvrir les portes puis je vais aller où personne n'a jamais été.
Okay.
Je pense que le calibre de boxe, c'est quelque chose que je répète au fil des entrevues, c'est le calibre de boxe au Québec, au Canada est incroyable.
Oui.
Par contre, peu osent faire le saut sur les professionnels parce que les ouvertures sont pas nécessairement là.
Oui.
C'est pas juste aux États-Unis qu'on retrouve des filles comme Ronda Rousey ou Ali Holm. Il y en a ici au Québec.
Marie-Ève,
Yep.
du cœur.
Vas-y, easy.
Pousse pas trop. Smooth, avec les poids, vraiment, fais tes mouvements comme il faut. Juste pas de vitesse, t'as pas besoin.
C'est quoi le rôle principal de l'entraîneur?
Bien, c'est de l'encadrer, de bien s'assurer que la personne est bien entraînée, une bonne nutrition, qui prend rien à légère. T'sais. L'encadrement, c'est bien important pour un boxeur. T'sais. Combien de fois qu'on voit des boxeurs s'évader un petit peu du droit chemin, mais c'est important de les garder sur terre puis de leur montrer. T'sais, comme avec Marie-Ève, elle a déjà toutes les skills. Elle a tout pour elle. Il reste juste à tout mettre ensemble puis travailler dans la même direction pour amener ses forces, ses faiblesses ensemble, puis travailler ensemble. La grosse loupe, ton jab, elle va lancer. Step.
Ça.
Boum.
Je reviens avec ma gauche.
Hein?
Je reviens avec ma gauche.
Tu reviens pas pantoute. Je veux juste que tu fasses manquer.
Décris-nous un peu la scène boxe féminine ici au Québec et mondiale.
Au Québec, c'est très, très, très restreint. Je dirais que je suis l'une des seules. Sinon, c'est comme je dis, c'est vraiment petit.
Oui.
Par contre, Canada, on est quelques-unes. Mondial, étonnamment, il y en a beaucoup. Si on regarde en Argentine, dans les pays latins, en Europe, il y en a beaucoup aussi. Puis ce qui est plaisant, c'est que de mon côté, on est capable de jouer dans un range de poids entre 135 et 154, ce qui nous permet d'aller chercher beaucoup de combats, d'unifier des titres, des choses comme ça, puis d'aller vraiment diversifier, puis d'aller chercher des opportunités un petit peu partout, là.
T'es un des premières filles de signer un contrat avec l'équipe Gym.
Oui.
Parle-nous un peu de l'importance de ce contrat.
C'est un contrat super important parce que, en fait, quand une organisation comme le groupe Yvon Michel entre dans la carrière d'un boxeur, ils prennent en charge vraiment tout le processus d'émancipation. Donc, c'est-à-dire qu'eux vont prendre des combats, ils vont signer des adversaires qui vont te permettre de progresser, qui vont te permettre d'aller vraiment au bout, d'aller vers une ceinture de championnat, des choses comme ça. Donc, nous, on n'a plus à se casser la tête. Est-ce qu'on va trouver des filles pour boxer? Est-ce que la fille qu'ils vont mettre devant nous va être en mesure de me faire progresser? On n'a plus à se casser la tête pour ça. On a juste arrivé à 150 % dans le ring. Puis ça, pour moi, c'est facile.
Le job.
Quand tu as un combat, parce que tu as un combat qui s'en vient, comment est-ce que tu prépares mentalement pour un combat?
Je dirais que la préparation mentale est aussi, sinon plus importante que la préparation physique. Ce que vous avez vu, c'est une partie d'entraînement qui est physique. Par contre, il y a beaucoup de visualisation, beaucoup de repos. Donc, c'est important qu'au niveau de mes temps libres, là, je suis vraiment focusée sur mon combat. Je vais pas commencer à faire 1 million de sorties, 1 million de choses parce que c'est là que je vais me fatiguer puis c'est là que ça va devenir un petit peu plus difficile. Donc, je suis vraiment focusée en vue de mon combat. Je mange, je dors, puis je me repose pour mon combat. Puis, je gère ma vie vraiment de cette façon-là. Là, je suis dédiée à 100 %. Là.
C'est ça. Pas obligé d'attaquer tout le temps. Tu te déplaces, tu y vas, tu travailles ton jab, tu fais manquer, on revient. Tu sors tout le temps à ta droite.
Alors, on a vu beaucoup de femmes s'entraîner. Parle-nous un peu de ce programme, s'il vous plaît.
Bien, en fait, c'est pas nécessairement un programme en particulier parce que, comme vous avez pu voir, il y a autant d'hommes que de femmes. Le but, je pense que notre clientèle est très diversifiée. Moi, étant une femme, en essayant d'abaisser les stéréotypes, en changeant l'image un petit peu des gymnases de la boxe, on voit que c'est madame tout le monde, ce sont des enseignantes, ce sont des femmes d'affaires qui viennent ici se défouler, se mettre en forme, puis augmenter la technique parce que ce qui est plaisant, c'est que oui, c'est un entraînement qui est physique. Par contre, il y a un aspect technique à aller chercher. Puis c'est là qu'on va chercher peut-être aussi les femmes qui sont pointilleuses, qui sont suspicieuses de la bonne technique, qui veulent s'améliorer, qui veulent vraiment aller chercher un petit peu plus loin. Il y en a beaucoup qui vont mettre les gants, c'est-à-dire qu'ils vont commencer à faire des petits sparring, des choses comme ça. Il y en a beaucoup qui vont le faire seulement que pour la forme physique. C'est reconnu, l'entraînement de boxe, c'est vraiment quelque chose qui est extrêmement bon. Puis nous, on essaie de rendre ça accessible vraiment à tout le monde. Là. Toi, tu reçois des coups. Viens ici, Max. Tu reçois des coups, la défensive est là. Il lance des coups, il lance des coups, il lance des coups. Un moment donné, là, bam, 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 lance-en. Des fois, ça se peut que tu les vois pas venir, mais tu roules les coups, tu roules les coups, tu roules les coups. Puis il lance. Fait que si tu lances un coup, tu vas le pincer juste pour le surprendre puis dire « Hey, je suis là, là. »
Les techniques d'apprentissage, est-ce que c'est la même chose que tu fais pour les hommes que les femmes?
En fait, c'est pas nécessairement regardant le sexe, c'est plutôt tout dépendant de l'objectif de la personne. Donc, si une personne vient ici pour la mise en forme, c'est sûr qu'on ne l'entraînera pas de la même façon que quelqu'un qui arrive ici et qui dit « Je veux faire des combats ». Donc, quelqu'un qui rentre ici et qui dit « Moi, j'aimerais ça faire des combats, homme-femme, il n'y a pas de distinction. Quelqu'un qui arrive ici et qui dit « Moi, je veux me mettre en forme, homme-femme, il n'y a pas de distinction. » On va vraiment tenir en compte l'individu plus que le sexe en soi. Là. Bam, 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 shuffle. Bam, reviens de face. Bam, bam, pendant ton jab. C'est ça. Non, regarde. Là, ce que tu as fait, tu t'es déplacé comme ça. Fait, autant si tes pieds sont parallèles comme ça, que s'ils sont parallèles comme ça, tu vas recevoir des coups, tu vas être en déséquilibre. Ici, c'est mon bébé. Donc, ma vie a été investie ici. J'ai passé tellement d'heures, tellement d'efforts. Donc, pour moi, c'est important de toujours, même si je ne suis pas nécessairement toujours l'instructeur principal, d'aller donner un petit conseil à tous parce que je pense que le but, c'est que tout le monde s'améliore puis qu'il trouve son compte. Puis on a tellement des élèves fantastiques ici là, que c'est super plaisant de le faire. Bien, c'est sûr qu'à prime abord, je suis propriétaire de l'endroit. À prime abord, j'aurais aimé ça, être capable de tout faire un petit peu, de donner autant en boxe que de donner en karaté. Malheureusement, le temps ne me le permet pas. Gabriel fait un travail phénoménal avec les boxeurs, mais c'est sûr que j'aime toujours aller dire mon petit mot. Je pense que des fois, juste une petite vision différente, un petit conseil technique pour les boxeurs, ça va leur permettre de s'améliorer. Puis les boxeurs sont très, très, très réceptifs. Les 2 secondes que je vais leur donner, souvent, je vais me retourner. Ils vont être en train de le pratiquer, ils vont être en train de l'appliquer. Non, frappe pas, je veux juste que tu roules les coups, OK? Non, colle ton coude. Colle ton coude. That's it.
Tu travailles beaucoup avec Marie-Ève. Oui. Parle-nous de la personne à l'extérieur de la boxe.
Marie-Ève, c'est une fille qui est authentique. Honnêtement, je la côtoie tant qu'en affaires. C'est simple, elle sait où est-ce qu'elle s'en va. Ce que j'admire beaucoup de cette personne-là, c'est sa discipline, sa rigueur. Quand elle dit de quoi, elle le fait. Quand elle s'entraîne, quand elle s'engage avec le monde. Donc, c'est sécurisant pour ses partenaires, c'est sécurisant pour ses investisseurs, ses commandites, c'est sécurisant pour les promoteurs.
Explose, bam, 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 wop, bam, jab, jab, c'est ça.
La gagnante par décision unanime, Marie-Ève
Et pourquoi t'aimes redonner à la communauté?
Je pense que c'est juste quelque chose que j'ai en moi, les arts martiaux, les sports. Je pense que ça a changé ma vie, puis je serais pas la personne que je suis en ce moment si ça n'avait pas été de ça. Mon histoire est un petit peu drôle aussi parce que justement, j'étais partie, j'étais à l'école, puis tout ça. Puis mon professeur de karaté, c'est lui qui m'a pris, puis il m'a dit « OK, Marie-Ève, il dit, c'est quoi, qu'est-ce que tu fais comme travail? » Ben, je travaillais chez Canadian Tire pour payer mes études et tout ça. Puis lui, il dit « Non, ta place, elle est pas là, ta place, elle est dans une école de karaté. » Puis c'est là qu'il m'a pris, puis si je peux faire la même chose avec un jeune ou avec un adulte, si je peux juste aider quelqu'un à changer leur vie ou avoir une vision différente, à mettre un soleil dans leur journée. Des fois, les gens finissent au bureau, ils ont une journée crappy day. Ils arrivent ici, ça leur tente moins, ils travaillent un petit peu, un petit conseil technique, ils réussissent quelque chose. Ben, on voit le sourire qui revient déjà. Bien, ça, pour moi, je pense que c'est le plus beau métier du monde, puis c'est ce qui est le plus gratifiant, là, par-dessus toutes les victoires que je peux aller chercher dans un ring ou des choses comme ça, là.
For my victory, 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 victory. We always on the
Club de boxe Lafrenière.
Yes. Tout le monde en direct, en ligne droite, à hauteur des yeux. Les jambes un peu plus écartées. À part de ça va super bien, lâche pas. Ici, c'est la salle de boxe avec le ring, les 22 sacs où on fait nos cours de groupe.
22, c'est beaucoup.
22, les cours de groupe, ils sont assez remplis. On est entre 40 et 60 la plupart du temps.
Récemment, tu as reçu une plaque de la ville de Saint-Clair?
Oui, la ville de Saint-Clair m'a félicité d'être boxeur professionnel, champion canadien, d'être un bel exemple pour les jeunes avec les cours qu'on donne. On les aide. Puis les écoles m'appellent beaucoup pour aller dans les classes spéciales ou donner les cours, leur changer les idées, peut-être leur donner le goût aussi de se mettre dans le sport au lieu d'autres activités un peu plus négatives. Tout le monde sur place, jumping jack, jumping jack. Faites attention à ne pas frapper personne.
Et récemment aussi, tu avais organisé un événement spécial pour les jeunes handicapés.
Oui, ça, c'était super le fun. C'était avec la classe de Lisa Anderson, des personnes autistes, trisomiques. Ça a super bien été. Les jeunes en parlent encore. Ça va faire bientôt 1 an. Ils parlent encore de boxe. Ils m'ont fait des belles photos. Ils sont justement à l'entrée. Non, ça a été super, une belle expérience.
Parle-nous de l'importance de la famille.
Comme j'ai dit, la famille, c'est très important pour moi. J'ai deux petits enfants, une femme merveilleuse qui m'appuie toujours, malgré ce que je fais. Je travaille beaucoup, 75 heures par semaine, je m'entraîne. Puis quand je m'entraîne fort. 11 fois par semaine, je fais tout ce qu'il faut. Jogging, conditioning, boxe. Ça fait que je vois un peu moins mes enfants puis que je passe moins de temps avec mes enfants parce qu'après ça, j'ai mes boxeurs. Les samedis, on va dans des galas. Fait qu'on a juste le dimanche, mais on fait avec ce qu'on a puis j'adore ma famille quand même.
On est présentement dans le gym de boxe Graham Brothers.
Yes.
Toi, tu t'entraînes combien de fois par semaine?
Je m'entraîne 9 à 11 fois par semaine.
9 à 11 fois, mais il y a 7 jours dans la semaine.
Ouais, faut faire plus.
Well, he works hard. You know, there's no quitting Francis. He's a guy that, you know, he's always going to give 110% and leave it all in the ring. Also in the gym, you know, he trains hard, trains like, you know, he's very intense with his training, and in the fights, he brings that intensity, and, you know, above and beyond all that, he's a really, really nice guy.
Tu fais un petit réchauffement?
On se réchauffe un peu.
OK.
Parce que maintenant, on s'est réchauffé plus la mâchoire que le reste.
Oui, c'est sûr. Alors ici, tu mélanges tes punches ou quoi? Quand tu fais ton réchauffement?
Ah, ben d'habitude, le réchauffement, on fait shadowboxing. Okay. Après ça, on fait le sac. Okay. Springball, speedball.
Okay.
On fait des pads, comme à danser. Mais là, on va commencer avec quoi? Uppercut?
Moi, je te suis.
Uppercut, let's go. Uppercut, non-stop.
Right, so uppercut.
On s'en va pour des crochets.
OK, crochet. À ton avis, c'est quoi ton plus grand défi?
Le plus grand défi pour chaque boxeur, j'imagine, c'est être champion du monde.
Okay.
Mais pour moi, je pense que le défi a déjà été relevé, c'est d'être champion canadien.
Okay.
Prochain défi nord-américain. Okay. Mais comme tous les boxeurs, champion du monde, c'est ça.
If he keeps going on the track he's going right now, like, you know, he's a Canadian champion, but I'd like to see him in a bigger regional title, maybe a North American title or a Continental America's title, and that'll get him ranked, world ranked. We've already had a few opportunities for him to fight big names, but like we pass on them because like we're trying to rebuild his record and get him in a position where he could fight for a legitimate title and some legitimate money down the road.
On peut faire pour le championnat, baby! Ta ceinture est online! Come on, baby! Montre-nous qu'est-ce que tu plaques! Montre-nous que tu es le meilleur au Canada, au Québec, au monde!
des choses qu'on connaît pas de Francis?
Ben, j'en ai beaucoup à dire, là.
Ah, je t'écoute.
Ben, il est gentil, il est drôle, là, tu sais, ça a pas d'allure, il est tout le temps entraîné, il est comique, ben, il niaise tout le temps, même quand il va s'entraîner, il va niaiser quand il va faire de la mythe, là, il est bien drôle, là, tu sais, c'est un très bon boxeur aussi, il est très sérieux quand il veut.
Comment est-ce que quelqu'un comme Francis t'inspire?
Ben, il m'inspire beaucoup, parce que, tu sais, c'est mon coach, puis... il m'invite partout, là, on va partout ensemble.
Avery, c'est vrai, c'est notre petite vedette ici. Ouais. Il est vraiment bon. Oui. Il est rendu à 17 combats, si je me trompe pas. Wow. 17-0. Il a gagné tous les tournois qu'il a fait, il les a gagnés.
J'ai gagné 2 fois les gants dorés, les Golden Gloves. J'ai gagné 2 fois la Coupe Adidas. Là, c'est rendu la Coupe Imperium. J'ai gagné 1 fois les gants de bronze, puis le reste, c'est des combats normaux.
On essaie d'y mettre une discipline, qu'est-ce qu'il n'y avait pas avant. Oui. Donc, tranquillement, pas vite, on met la discipline. Je l'ai engagé pour travailler ici. Il travaille pour moi maintenant, une fois par semaine. On a même fait un pack, moi puis lui. Oui. Lui, son but, c'est d'aller aux Olympiques. Oui. Puis j'ai dit, si tu fais pas tes études, on y va pas.
Ben, il m'a tout le temps dit, va à l'école, tu vas devenir un meilleur boxeur, tu sais, parce que plus tard, je vais être coach aussi, là. Tu sais, j'ai le mental.
On t'appelle the People's Champ.
The People's Champ, c'est mon surnom. Donc, le monde sont satisfaits de mes combats. Donc, ils m'ont surnommé comme ça parce que peu importe, je suis un champion pour eux, pour les fans.
You know, the people love him. Once you meet this kid and you meet Francis and you see the kind of guy he is, you can't help but support him. You can't help but cheer for him. And I think he has appeal and magnetism, whatever the word is, that draws people to him. And like once you get to know him, you know, the people support him.
Si tu avais le choix d'embarquer dans une cause sociale, ça sera quoi?
Je pense pour bien faire, ça serait une cause pour les sourds et muets.
Ah oui?
Ouais, parce que mes parents sont sourds, puis ils se sont toujours fiés à moi et mon frère. Puis des fois, c'est dur. Il y a des choses que tu veux pas savoir que tes parents font ou ils veulent faire, tu sais, à l'hôpital ou peu importe les rendez-vous, le problème financier qu'ils peuvent avoir. Fait que peut-être un peu plus de soutien pour ces personnes-là qui font leur possible aussi dans la vie, qui manquent peut-être un peu de ressources.
Et avec tes parents, tu communiques plus par écriture ou par...
Toujours avec les mains. Je sais tous les signes, ouais.
OK. T'as appris ça à un jeune âge, les signes?
Oui, à 5-6 ans, je savais pas mal tout. Je faisais l'interprète, ouais.
Comment ça dit bonjour?
Bonjour, on fait ça comme ça. Bonjour.
OK.
Ou comme tout le monde, universel, bonjour comme ça.
Bonjour comme ça.
On peut dire bonjour, comment ça va?
OK. Et au revoir, c'est quoi?
Au revoir, c'est bye comme ça. Ouais, les signes les plus simples.
OK, on prend un break, Woo! Give him a hand, people. Applaudissons, applaudissons.
So sublime, sky and sea as blue as can be, all seem plain when I compare them to you. You know that it's true.
Francis, il met beaucoup d'énergie sur la boxe, puis il met beaucoup d'énergie pour son club de boxe en même temps. Donc, il réussit à combiner les deux, puis c'est vraiment exceptionnel.
C'est quelqu'un qui est discipliné, qui est dédié au sport, puis en plus qui fait attention à lui-même de l'intérieur.
C'est un travailleur acharné, là. On s'entraîne ensemble au gym tous les jours. C'est un gars qui est tellement droit dans son travail et dans sa routine. Vraiment sérieux, un vraiment bon gars, là.
Toi, trop en 2 ans?
Il y a 2 ans, je savais pas que je m'aurais rendu là aujourd'hui. Quand j'ai commencé, je pensais être champion québécois, puis ça aurait été bon pour moi. Là, je suis champion canadien. Dans 2 ans, peut-être champion nord-américain, puis c'est sûr, comme tous les boxeurs, peut-être arriver à un niveau champion du monde, tout ça. Mais nord-américain, je serais vraiment content pour les prochaines 2 années.
This musical artist does not shy away from bending the rules. His musical influences stem from various countries around the world, like Venezuela and Japan. At the end of the day, originality and honesty are at the forefront for this artist. For The Vocalist magazine presents, this is Wayne Tennant.
I would describe my music as passionate, eclectic, soulful, if you can say this, rule-breaking at times, in terms of composition, sounds, at times futuristic, and thoughtful, pensive.
You loved me, and then you left me with hesitations. You gave me no choice. You were my only voice.
So let's go back to the beginning of your career. You had mentioned that your grandmother had a really big influence on you in your early childhood. Can you talk a little bit about that and about what she meant to you?
She was music to me. Growing up, being sung to from when I was an infant, all the way up until I was 9 years old. That was her influence. Growing up, hearing her play the Steinway upright piano, and her directing, you know, the choir, and just waking up to her humming in the morning, that always gave me a melody. That was her influence, and I still can hear it.
Puis une passe close. D'accord. Ensuite, je vais ramener une caméra ici.
The attraction between us, it's so sexy, kinda cool. But the danger among us is the speed of each other. So we crash. So we drive until we crash head on. We steal away.
Was there a particular instance where you felt like, you know, you could start picking up an instrument? Like, where was the time that you realized that maybe music was something that you would want to pursue as a career?
I would say it started when I moved to North America. I spent some time in Arizona for about a year, and I think it started when I saw MTV for the first time, seeing Prince perform Let's Go Crazy, seeing Michael Jackson perform Billie Jean, Thriller. And then I had to take a music program, and my first instrument was saxophone. That was my first instrument. And it started with a dare. I remember one of my friends said, you know what, you want to try it for the school talent show? And I'm like, I don't know. I would like to, but could you do it with me? Mm-hmm. And we decided to do it together. We do a duet. And I remember it was this song called My, My, My from an R&B singer that I really loved at the time called Johnny Gill. And we did it. And I remember winning the talent show for my first talent show, and I won. And every year after, throughout the rest of my high school career, that was it. And then I started professionally singing right in my last year of high school.
Guilty, said I'm guilty, said I'm guilty. I took advantage of this love. Now I'm...
So I would have to say that it started when I met this producer in Toronto, and he invited me to come to Venezuela to make music with him. I had no idea who he was, but I took that chance, and I met him in Venezuela, and we went trekking through the jungle, and we wrote music together, me, him, and his girlfriend. And the plan was that we were gonna write music and we were gonna perform it like to an audience, fresh, like within the month that I was there. And we took a teleférico all the way up. It must have been like 6,000 feet. We did this party in front of these strangers. I'm in a strange country, and here am I performing these freshly written songs in front of a new audience. That to me was like out of this world. It was amazing.
Kept your love for me. Didn't give me much to live for. Now it's suspended.
So I understand that you're Jamaican born.
Yes.
So how have your influences from there maybe changed your music or helped you musically?
I think it changed me, or it added to my palette in terms of creativity. The organic sounds that I sometimes use. Also the soul, the island soul.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, as much as I listen to a lot of American soul, I'll never sound like them. And I use that to my advantage because I had such a eclectic upbringing, you know, from church to, you know, living in the States, being surrounded with sounds of rock and roll and pop and house and electronic, all those things. But I think at the end of the day, you know, growing up with Bob Marley, listening to Bob Marley, you know, Peter Tosh, all the, you know, reggae greats, even though I don't do reggae music, there's an element in there if you really look hard.
So we drive until we crash head on. We steal away. So we drive until we crash head on. We fall in love.
Sitting here a long time trying to figure out what the hell are we gonna do. Pressing up the brick, but I don't know how much longer, cause I'm ready to go. Cause we are missing each other, seems like we like one another. The attraction between us, it's so sexy, kinda cool. The danger among us is the speed of each other. And so we crash.
So we drive until we crash
Oh,
we steal away.
we steal away. We fall in love. Telltale signs of attraction often leaves me feeling so confused but beaming. Push up on my ride, it's I'm out of control. It's too late, I'm on a smash. Cause we touch each other, cause we like one another. The attraction between us, it's a sexy kinda cool. But the danger among us is the speed of each other. And so we head towards each other, we crash. Oh,
So we drive until we crash head on. We steal away.
we steal away. Hey, yeah.
Until we crash head on.
We fall in love, yeah.
So we drive until we crash
Head on, head on.
we steal away.
We steal away. long time trying to figure out what the hell we gonna do. Pressing on the brake, but I don't know how much longer, cause I'm ready to go. Cause we are seeing each other, seems like we like one another. The attraction between us creates the sexy kinda cool. But the danger among us is the speed of each other. And so we crash.
Okay, so 1 and 2 are both.
Yeah, they're bridge.
Okay.
Like they're
okay. All right.
Glued together.
Okay.
And the volume is here. The master, treble, or bass, or better. So
perfect. Thank you.
I
I try to bring all my songs that I write to life. So I put that extra energy in putting in a lot of energy, whether it be ballads, whether it be up-tempo songs. So I like to engage. I don't believe in just standing there and singing a song. I like to take people on a journey. So my number one thing is to basically give you an experience.
Tell me what would you do if it was up to you?
Yeah.
Tell me what would you do if it was up to you?
So I need a little bit, if you could, could you turn up that vocal louder so I can match it?
Sure.
Please.
And I understand you released your first debut full-length album in 2015.
Yes.
Life in a Minor Key. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the creation process for that record?
Oh, it was magical at times because the songs just kind of wrote themselves. I spent a great deal of time in Morocco doing, gigs, cover gigs, that sort of thing, to sort of like finance myself. So I spent about 5 months at one point, and the record started. And I brought my studio with me. So a lot of the times I would be performing from like midnight until like 3 in the morning. And I would either get an inspiration prior to getting on stage or right after getting off stage. Mm-hmm. It turned itself, I didn't really realize that I was making an album. I thought I would make a couple songs here or there and kind of turn it into an EP. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make an EP, and that's gonna be the precursor to an album.
Normally it would be here.
Just because I'm not in the mood.
Oh, sorry. I should show you where the chorus is. Tell me what would you do if it was up to you? So that phrase.
Tell me what would you
Yeah.
do if it was up to you?
Yeah, it comes in really
abrupt, like.
Said I'm guilty, said I'm guilty, said I'm guilty. I took advantage of this love. Now I'm learning all about what you need from me.
I like to write about love like a lot of people, but I always challenge myself to write about it in a way that's never been written before. But at the same time, every now and again, I write about my environment and the world that I'm living in. Like, for instance, there's a song called Why that I wrote on my album, and it's the only song where I chose to take a political route. And I don't like touching politics, but I challenged myself, and I'm like, how can I write about it in such a cool way that I like it and having it not sound preachy?
Right now, we are right on. You did some things to perpetuate. Not saying that I'm free of any blame, but
Do you feel like you found your sound as an artist?
Oh, definitely. I feel like the shoe fits right now, you know, and I can only get better for it. And I feel like anything I do from here on out, from this record, is gonna be just an extension of that. And it's probably gonna eclipse into something else, but I'm not forcing anything.
You got me in deep, having trouble sleeping. You're all I'm thinking. Stupid me, you're all I'm drinking. I must confess that I am a mess, yeah. Feeling you in every room, cause I smell your perfume. So what's to talk to you, I should have ignored you. It's hard to breathe every time you name me. Push and pull, you know what to do. Wishing you away, but you stay. You really got me under your spell. Do you do the things that you do? I try to fight you out of my head, but you remain there instead. You really got me under your spell. Linger on in my head, can't get you out of my head. You do linger on my head. I cannot get the feeling that this could be your romance. You bring me to a place where I can't find no peace of mind. I'm caught up in this yearning, you really know how to get to me. You give me that glance, I'm giving you this chance. One fell swoop, you got me here in that loop. Tell me what you're thinking. See you be hanging around. Often you be trying to play dumb, pretending not to be not so into me. But when we're alone, you're all mine. By myself, I often question, cause you keep me guessing. You got me feeling my way through the hallways of your mind. Am I doing this? Am I a fool for this? Why am I so blind? Was it wise to talk to you? I should have ignored you. It's hard to breathe every time you're near me. The push and pull, you know what to do. Wishing you away, but you stay. But you remain there instead. You really got me under your spell. You linger around in my head. I can't get you out of my head. Oh, you really got me under your spell. What do you do? The things that you do. Trying to fight you out of my head, but you remain there instead. You really got me, got me, got me. Oh. It could find a peace of mind. You know, you give me that glance. Now I'm giving you this chance. I cannot get that feeling. You bring me to this yearning. I'm giving you this change. Oh, can I get that feeling? You bring me to. I'm caught up in this yearning. You give me that glance. You're gonna get that feeling. Oh no, no, not again. So I crashed on my bed.
What are you currently working on as an artist? What projects do you have coming up?
Well, currently, the challenge to myself right now in terms of this project, Life in a Minor Key, is to put out visuals to most of the songs that I really care about. I care about every song on the album, but of course, as an independent artist, it's hard to finance, everything, or at the time that you want it to be. But yeah, I want to continue doing that. Meanwhile, working on new material, and I think I have about an album's worth now of new stuff already, ready to go, ready to mix. I'm also part of a choir, Imani Gospel Singers, and I'm really invested in that project. And I got a chance to write for the choir. Continue, with building my brand, and really think big. Montreal, I love Montreal, but I really need to think outside of here. Otherwise, I'll never really grow.
Can't accept the state of this relationship. Yet I watch it all get blown up into bits.
You alluded to a new album, possibly, right? You said you have tracks ready to go. So what is that music sounding like? Has it changed, developed at all in comparison to Life in a Minor Key?
No, I think it's really an extension of it. It's really an extension of the sound that I created with Life in a Minor Key, and because I'm so entrenched in that sound, and I'm so in love with it. I don't want to change anything. It works. So if it's not broken, why fix it?
Right.
I see myself doing this, but on a bigger scale. I don't care how it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. And I'm trying to push myself in that direction. So yes, I wanna keep doing that, as well as writing for other people. I would love to have my music in commercials, television, that sort of thing, you know what I mean? I wanna have my music also work for me, sort of thing. Because at the end of the day, it's a music business, and it's my bread and butter. This is what I do full time. So I have got to figure out ways in terms of living off it.
And then you taped it up. I screamed out in a rage, yeah.
Do you have any advice for aspiring musicians and artists that are looking to sort of make it in the industry?
Know your craft. Study your craft. Constantly educate yourself about your craft. Be diligent, be disciplined, refrain from being lazy. It doesn't happen overnight. It's something that you have to constantly work at. And you must study the greats. Do your homework. Know what you're doing, Don't be afraid to be different. That's my advice.
Do you feel like you followed that advice?
Yeah, I do it without even thinking. It just comes naturally.
Hearts
miss in a miss. Now there must be a glitch. Spinning on a whim, this is such a sweet sin. My feelings are sparkling.
That's
Show
it.
us what's in the closet.
What's in the closet?
What's in the closet?
Let's hit it in the closet. All right.
Wow.
There it is. There it is. This is Geek Central. Because in my old place, I had all these out. But when I moved here, I was like, you know, I'm going to hide some of my geekiness, keep it to myself. Because before it was just all over the place. It was too cluttered. I like the idea of just having everything here. So whenever I record, I actually leave this open as a source of inspiration. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, do you like still game
Oh,
often, or
hell yes.
you still find time
Hell
to
yeah.
game even
Well, time
with
is-
your crazy schedule? Because it seems like you're really, really busy as an artist.
Yeah, I don't have to have as much time before. Before I used to game a lot. Now I game probably once or twice a week for maybe an hour if I'm lucky. But I'm still in that world. I just can't dive as much as I want to into it anymore.
What's
Because
your current game right now?
I just beat Horizon Zero Dawn.
Like you finished the game?
I finished the game, yeah.
Okay.
I just beat the game. See, gamers say I just beat the game. Non-gamers say just finished the game.
Okay. No,
So I just beat the game.
You are not initially from Montreal. Where were you born?
I was born in Nigeria. My mom was born here, but I moved here because of my parents. They got divorced when I was a kid, and didn't really have a choice in the say. Actually, when I first moved to Canada, I didn't want to because I was a spoiled brat. You know, in Nigeria, grew up in a rich family, so moving to Canada meant that we had to downgrade. But coming here and learning about the culture and just being part of it just changed everything in my life.
And what really powered your desire to pursue music as a career?
Well, I've always known how to sing. You know, as a kid, my mom listened to Michael Jackson all the time, and you can't grow up with Michael Jackson and not start singing. It's just impossible. So I grew up with MJ and learned how to sing as MJ. Me, my boy.
Oh, boy.
I didn't grow up with Michael Jackson. I grew up listening to Michael Jackson. I wish I knew him. But no, I grew up listening to Michael Jackson, learned how to sing, and as I got older, I just started doing it. But initially, I was just doing it because I could. And it really, honestly, wasn't until after my mom passed away that it became something that I did as a purpose to find meaning in myself again and rediscover what it means to live and share that with the world. And after that, it just became an emotional journey for me.
There's a place that I'll find you. In my heart, you know it's true. You sheltered me when I was blue. So I will always love you. You took care of me. You took care of me. You took care of me. So will always love you.
Recently, you rebranded yourself.
Yeah.
You were always known as Voice.
Voice, yes.
And now you are Steven Voice.
Steven, yes.
So what possessed you to make that decision?
I had got to the fourth album. Actually, the story of the album is a crazy story because I put out 4 albums in 2 years. But there's a big reason for that. But the music I was putting out, you know, in those albums were, again, part of that journey of self-discovery. And then I got to the end of the fourth one and had realized that I had let go of all that pain that was holding me back. And it was starting to feel heavy to keep holding on to something that I didn't need to hold on to anymore. So it just became, this is something that's happened naturally. I just felt, you know, it's time to let go of that. And one way to do that would be to symbolically allow myself to grow. And also, as I made music, more and more people would call me Voice, which is cool. But I always felt that I'm also Steven, you know, like my name's Steven, everyone called me Steven, and then suddenly no one's calling me Steven anymore. And I kind of wanted to bring that back, to bring back the humanity of what I am, that I'm not just this brand or a symbol of whatever. I'm a person behind the music, I'm a person behind the stories.
You're obviously somebody that has a lot of tattoos, and I don't want it to be like a cliche question, but I have to ask.
Okay.
Which one's your favorite one and why?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's like asking someone what their favorite movie is. Yeah.
Gladiator.
Okay, fine.
I can answer that easy. It's hard to say what's my favorite tattoo just because they all have such deep meaning, but I'll tell you about the most meaningful one and the most simplistic one. Is this one on my arm right here that says 27-9 in Roman numerals. I'm not going to disclose to what the numbers mean. It's a code for me, but it represents the day that my mom passed away. I got that tattoo as a reminder of that because I had survived that day. And if I can survive this, I can survive anything. So whenever, you know, I have really bad days or things just go wrong in my life and I just think, oh man, I'm tired of all this, I just look at my arm and I go, you know what? This is easy breezy compared to what I've already been through. I've been through the worst. So really life can throw anything at me at this point, I'll survive it. And so I took something that was very negative in my life and I turned it into a moment of reinforcement moving forward. And music was the only thing that kept me going. It was my way of kind of releasing what was inside of me. And I know I started to put my music out more and more and share it, and people connected with it because they felt what I was going through. But something changed because initially.
Hey everyone, you're watching Inside the Underground and I'm your host, Kiana Walker. Right now we are in the Mile End of Montreal at Sunrise Cafe and Collections. This is basically a cafe and a retail store all in one. And I'm about to meet up with one of Montreal's gems, singer-songwriter and wonderful Mrs. L. Ray.
Saturday morning, he jumped out of bed and put his best suit on. Got in his car and raced like a jam all the way to you. Knocked on your door with a heart in his hand to ask you a question, 'cause he know that you're an old-fashioned man. He said, can I have your daughter for the rest of my life? Say yes, 'cause I need to. He said, you'll never have my blessing till the day I die.
So you said that your dad was the lead singer of a reggae band.
Yes.
And then your aunt was a lead singer of a heavy metal band.
That's right.
So being, you know, so absorbed in a family that was so musically inclined, did you feel like some sort of pressure to pursue this particular career?
No, not at all. Actually, I didn't even think I was going to end up in music. I mean, my family was very open, but for some reason I was always going for something more traditional, so I studied languages.
Oh.
And I also studied business. But it's only later on as I kept singing and kept exploring that, and when I picked up a guitar, I just was like, you know what, I freaking love this. this is for me. So
that's where your passion lies.
Yes.
And then in 2011, you won a music scholarship to Tech Music School in the UK.
Yeah.
So you were living in London for 8 years.
That's right.
So what was that experience like, and how would you compare the London music scene to the Montreal music scene?
It's kind of, okay, in Montreal, there's a lot of places where you can perform, and that's really nice. So imagine London times 20.
Oh, wow.
So just to give you an idea, when I first picked up the guitar, I started to play open mics over there, because there are a lot of open mics. You could go to one open mic a day easily. You can choose between 5 or more per day to go to, and I used to do 2 open mics a day at one point.
Wow. So that actually leads me to my next question. What's your favorite part about the Montreal music scene, and what do you think needs to get improved on in terms for artists to be able to thrive more musically?
What I love about Montreal, it's really authentic. There's such a melting pot. It's just, that soul is so there, like you can feel it everywhere, and everyone's so open to sharing their experiences. So I really like that about Montreal. When I moved back here, it really felt like home, like the tam-tams, like the percussion, that like Afro vibe, and it's that's my favorite thing about Montreal. To improve, which is a very difficult question, because I'm thinking about the number of people in a city and the number of musicians. I mean, there's a lot of artists here, and there's a lot of shows, and sometimes there's like there's 5 shows a day with 5 different artists. People can't go to 5 different shows, and sometimes it's the same scene that like to go out and see music or listen to music. I'm not sure how to answer that question, how to improve. I guess more open mics.
More open mics.
Maybe more open mics,
if that's even possible.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, as an independent artist, working on your own is it's very difficult to break through. You absolutely need to have a team, someone that has great ideas to market your music outside of Montreal.
Outside of Montreal, not just in Montreal.
Yes. What also makes it difficult is that there's a French scene and there's an English scene. So to cater to both is also quite a challenge.
Yeah,
it's a challenge.
Yeah. Do you try to do both, or you stick to English?
Yes, because I'm so much more comfortable. I mean, I'm French, je suis francophone aussi.
Okay.
But I'm more comfortable in English, probably because of the time that I spent with my dad in London, and then continued my school over there, and it's just I started to write. I started to write in English in London, so it wasn't like, oh, I'm in London, let me try to write in French. No, it didn't happen. So,
True.
So I continued working in English. I mean, writing in French is another skill. I mean, for people that can do both, it's quite amazing. Like, chapeau.
And you've actually written a number of songs which have actually won songwriting competitions. Where do you find your inspiration in terms of writing music?
Everywhere.
Yes.
It always comes back to my personal experience somewhere. But it could be something that happened to me. It could be something that I watched, a film, or an emotion, or a social event, or something that I really hate. I mean, a lot of times I've written songs about a new president, but I mean, they'll never find the light of day.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, like it comes from everywhere.
doing you.
This is a t-shirt that's inspired by one of my songs called Gold for Water. So the whole idea is to just find a balance between saving money and enjoying life. And in my case, it was last winter. I was just so tired of the cold. I wanted to go on the beach, so I was like, I'm ready to trade all my gold just to go to the water. So yeah.
I also wanted to touch on a subject that we were discussing last night. So I had mentioned the fact that we were both biracial, and then you said that the word race has never really been part of your vocabulary. And that's something that I found very interesting because, you know, you're a woman who is half French Canadian, half Jamaican, and you're living in a city like Montreal. So how do you manage to like navigate the city disregarding the term race?
It's a little weird, but it's a habit thing. My mother and my dad are very open people, and so I grew up without really feeling that identified to something or country or a nation or a culture. It was more just like me and lots of people that have a lot of like rich different types of background that I can explore and enjoy. I don't like putting people in boxes, and it just doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I like to stay open-minded with that. I mean, it's a habit, so yeah.
That's a beautiful answer, and I really respect that as well. And you also mentioned the fact that you try to live your life according to Buddhist and Rastafarian values while applying these values to the modern world. So in what ways do you manage to do this?
Rastafarian beliefs, Buddhism, and also Native American ones.
You broadcasting live one time with Clay and Friends for Inside the Underground. This is Adele on the beatbox, Killer B on the bass. We got Prez Fidesz on the keys in the back. Big ups to Sam and O King on the 6 strings and Clem the master orchestrator. Keep it funky fresh, y'all, on the 1s and 2s.
One, two, three, four.
Okay, so right now we're in Côte-Neige, Montreal, and we are at the J'Apartment. This is where Clay and Friends reside. I'm really excited to meet them. Hey! Let's just go in.